Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope you're off to a good start this Friday morning. Looks a little different today because, Ben complains all the time about that the sofa that we have in the studio. And so we thought we'd try some different approaches to the furniture. And today we're going to do such an approach. I think he's going to hate it. Here with me to start the show off is not Leigh-Ann because she's late, as usual. But she'll walk in any minute and then walk right through the camera. But we do have Mash here. Hello,
Hi.
Masha. How are you?
I'm good, Gareth. How are you doing?
Good.
Oh,
Good.
You said the furniture is different.
Yeah, how's that, huh?
Yeah, and I'm part of it.
We got like a gay set designer to come and choose to choose a sofa for us, and he said it's going to be fabulous, but I don't know.
It is very gay.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
It's the gayest sofa I've ever seen. I mean, could you even have this in your house?
I could not.
Too gay.
I could not. It's too gay even for me. But it's beautiful either way.
All right. Well, James and Flex think it's awesome. They decided that this is exactly what we needed for a Friday morning. How are you? What's news?
A lot has been happening, Gareth. Life has just been so different, and I've just been trying to acclimatize myself to it and get myself used to it.
What happened?
So actually, the very first thing is I got myself off GLPs. I've been taking GLP-1s.
Right.
And for quite a while now.
Just in case people don't know, that's the Ozempic.
The Ozempics and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
It's a category of drug, yeah.
Yes, I wasn't taking any of those. I don't want to promote the one I was taking. But so I've been taking it on and off for, I'd say, maybe 6-7 months now. Mm-hmm. And when I say on and off, I mean like I've been taking like it once a week. It's a tablet, just one tablet, because there've been those days when I was like, I don't think I can.
A tablet. I understood that those things were all injectables.
There's tablets as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, well that's news to me.
That helps out a lot.
So you were on it for how long?
So I've been on it. So in total, in the grand scheme of things, I've been on it for about.
Oh, there we go.
I'll say about a year.
Trying to sneak in.
Go on, take your place. Don't worry.
Walk of shame.
While Mash is talking, it's fine. So you were on it, okay?
I was on it on and off for about a year and 8 months altogether, but I did stop for some time, and simply because I could handle myself. There came a point where it was easy for me to now just not eat. But every now and then there were those days when my appetite would be absolutely insane, especially after like working out glutes or like doing squats at the gym, etc.
Convenience as well. It's like, why must I go home, make food?
Yes.
It's been a long day. I've been working. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm craving sugar.
Yeah.
And then those things kick in and you can't actually do anything about it. Well, most people, I mean, listen, it's a willpower thing for everyone. It's not just people who know and admit.
Yes, everybody suffers from food noise.
I mean, James was talking about the shit he eats this morning, and you were like giving him hell.
Oh yeah, I was giving him hell for sure because
sugar.
As we were discussing, as actually when you walked in, James was telling me about. He asked me what did I eat. So I'm like, no, I just have a high protein cereal for breakfast. And he's like, oh, okay, no strawberries. I'm like, why would I put strawberries in my cereal? He's like, because they're healthy. I'm like, but they have sugar.
I know someone who used to arrive at work, and they would get to work at like 9, which is quite late. I mean, a lot of people get there at 8. Anyway, get there at 9, then eat a breakfast they'd made at home, then order something that would be delivered, then either have some lunch or a snack in the afternoon too.
Sure.
And I was like, I don't know how you can consume that much. Yesterday, for example, and I mean, it's not a brag because I don't think there's a particular achievement. But yesterday, when 2:00 rolled round, I just suddenly realized I hadn't eaten at all. And I wasn't dying of hunger.
Yeah. Did you eat
like
the
you
whole
have your
day?
days. I ate after that.
Yeah.
But I only realized at like 2:00, oh shit, I'm actually hungry. And
Yes.
I think we eat. Look, it's kind of obvious we eat too much. But we're being marketed this shit all the time. Not that that's an excuse.
Yeah.
And it's in your face. I mean, you look at all the billboards on the side of the road.
Yeah.
You listen to ads that are played on television, on radio, on the internet even. Mm-hmm. You scroll through social media, they've got all this amazing looking food.
Yeah, it's always start your day right with this product.
And
start your day
you don't
right.
need any of that shit.
You don't need any of that garbage. We should not actually be eating breakfast.
Well, I saw your post that you put up Mash put up this awesome post the other day of him at the Valley of Waves in Sun City,
Yes.
where the last time he was there, it was how many years? 2 years, 3 years ago?
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yes.
And you were like waddling in there with like a massive gunt. And then he walked in this morning and I'm like, gee, dude, you're kicking ass, taking numbers. So yeah, you're the living proof of this.
Yes, it's
it.
been very tough, but overall, it's been, what I've learned is it's all about educating ourselves. We don't know enough about food. Lee, we just don't know enough about food, and we don't want to educate ourselves.
Leigh-Ann's also doing the GLPs.
Yes.
Because she also her doctor said she had to.
Lee, how's that going?
Good. So I have
So
diabetes.
do you not like the sofa?
No, well, I mean-
I saw you casting aspersions the moment you sat down. She was like, ugh, I don't
I mean,
know.
I'll
like this.
demonstrate.
Okay, yeah.
But I can't sit back because this is a man
You want
couch.
a cushion?
What is one cushion going to help this?
No, it's like you could fit another person in there.
Yeah, because if I had to sit back, it would be like this. So James asked me if I was comfortable. So this is a bit of a problem.
Don't worry, we're not keeping it. Yeah, there.
There you go.
That's better. Just
There
pull
you
the
go.
mic a bit closer.
Just pull the
and you're
mic
good.
to you.
Oh, there we go.
There we
my
go.
legs
Stretch.
disappearing to the couch.
Yeah, you almost got the same color as the leg. So,
Yes.
yeah, you were telling him about the diabetes and everything.
I've never
else.
done a show like this before.
Well, how exciting for you. Yeah. Ben is always complaining about the sofa. I can't wait to hear him complain about this one because this is even worse.
Yeah. Yeah, so diabetes,
Yes.
GLP-1. Mm-hmm. It has changed everything for me. Ooh. You know, Gareth, you've had such an impact on me all my life.
Negative one.
A terrible fucking impact. Horrible.
I'm so proud of that.
About, I mean, when you met me, I was skinny. And through many,
I made you put on weight.
You made me fat.
Yeah.
No, but as I was gaining weight, it was really difficult. I was looking at you. You were incredibly skinny too. You made a drastic transformation where you started pumping weights.
There's a little bit of fat. There was a little bit of fat in between.
What's it called when you're skinny fat?
Skinny fat.
There's a word for it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And you started putting in a lot of effort at the gym. But all the time that you were preaching this stuff, you were saying, all you have to do is eat less, run more.
Yeah, I know.
All you have to do is stop eating pork pies. And the whole time in me, I was screaming at that because I knew that I was lacking something hormonally.
Okay.
Every single day that you ripped off fat people, and I know that you have this cause behind you, but it'll help people. There's one girl who you influenced to lose
Fat
so much
Pat.
weight. Fat Pat.
Fat Pat. She wrote a
Fatty
book.
Patty.
Oh.
Wow.
And the whole time it was screaming inside me because I knew what to do. I was doing it right and it wasn't fucking working.
Right.
And I said to you, Gareth, it's not food and exercise, it's hormonal. And I can finally say that with confidence and with experience.
Good. No, I'm delighted. And I jokingly said the other day that I hope there are terrible side effects to Ozempic and its like because...
Oh, I mean, I had to shit out a turtle last night. One of those Galapagos turtles.
That is revolting.
Took me about 45 minutes. And then tomorrow it'll be the opposite problem.
Oh, really? So it affects the...
It does, but only for a while until you're used to it again. I'm not even up to full dose yet.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm delighted with the stuff. I mean, I can say that a number of things have come about as a result of this. We were always talking for, 4 or 5 decades about a miracle drug to help people with weight loss. People will pay more for a weight loss drug than they will.
Because it influences so many levels of your health.
Of course, but also I said to Mash on the way up the stairs when we walked into the building this morning that, looking good is part of it.
Yes, it is.
For many people, that's a prime motivator because it affects self-confidence and everything else, but just your general health. I mean, no one No one wakes up in the morning and goes, I really want to be fat, which is why I had a problem with that body positivity movement, because it was all bullshit.
Yeah.
And now you see like Amy Schumer and Lizzo and all these people that are thin now.
Yeah.
Oh,
or
is
are-
Amy Schumer also lost
Well, they're
weight?
getting thinner. I mean,
Yeah.
they're definitely looking
she's
a whole
skinny
lot
now.
better. Now, suddenly, they can't even remember the name of the body positivity movement. That's
At
all
all.
in the past. So I don't like hypocrisy. Okay? And I've always been kind of unforgiving about, my sister said at a family lunch the other day that the thing that she was terrified of as a child, so it happened long before you, is that my brother and I would be mean to her if she got fat, so she just never allowed herself to get fat.
Good.
Oh my God, Gareth.
Yes, I know, but it does have downstream. Have you got that graph I sent you of the things that kill us? Just, I didn't prepare this, but it's something that
Yeah.
has a lot to do with this. If you look at what kills people, and we often think, well, war, because everybody's
Yes.
terrified of war. War is the tiny little black dot at the end
Wow.
of that
I
can't
worm.
even see it.
Okay? Then there's pregnancy and birth, medical complications, murder, even in a country like South Africa, is not the biggest cause of death by a long way. Undetermined events, obviously, we can't factor that in because we don't know what those events are and how regularly they occur and where they occur and so on. Mental health disorders still quite small. Then transport accidents. I do have a suspicion we have more of those in South Africa.
Yes.
This is obviously an American or a
Especially
world
pedestrian.
guide. Yeah, sure, but that's because a lot of pedestrians in this country are fucking stupid. And they have no depth perception and they can't tell that it's bad to cross a highway or to be drunk and wander into the road. Nonetheless, it's a small number. Then suicide, which again I suspect in South Africa is a slightly larger proportion. Again, I'm basing this anecdotally on the conversations we've had in the studio over 20 years and that kind of thing. Then musculoskeletal disorders, which have weight has some bearing, if you'll pardon the pun on that. Then you get diabetes. Then diabetes is, and in South Africa, we've got a big diabetes problem. We're
Very
the third fattest country in the world. And a lot of that is type 1 or type 2 diabetes, mostly type 2. Then we've got non-transport accidents. That's like that's stupid. That's like falling off ladders, electrocuting yourself.
Scaffolding.
Yeah, all that kind of shit. So you could just put that under the category dumb. Infections.
And that's in South Africa, that's probably bigger here because
It
of
would
the
be.
aftercare in hospitals.
Correct. And then you get kidney disorders, digestive disorders, nervous disorders. Now you're getting to the big ones, right? Those big three, the yellow and the orange and the red, are in ascending order from smallest to biggest. Respiratory disorders, which obviously we have
Asthma,
tuberculosis.
pneumonia, emphysema.
In this country, TB is probably the biggest of those dangerous killers, respiratory problems. Then you got cancer, which is the second biggest overall. And obviously, we've even developed ways of dealing with cancer. You mentioned sugar earlier.
Yes.
I mean, they've pretty much conclusively, not inconclusively, they've pretty much conclusively proven now that cancer lives on sugar.
Yeah.
And if you eat a lot of sugar, your cancer gets worse. And if you can starve the sugar out of your body, again, this may sound like wacky science to some people, but there are people who have practiced this and got into remission and are cancer-free and or have managed their cancer a whole lot better. And then the biggest one is heart and circulatory disorders. And we know that has enormous input and output results as allied to or associated with being overweight.
Yes.
We know that, right? Now, one of the things that I said, I think it was even in Fat Pat's book. Fat Pat, by the way, for people who are unfamiliar, this is a couple of years ago. I've always been very rude about fat people, which is partly because it's humorous, and making fun of fat people is what humans have always done. There was a king of France called Louis the Fat, Louis le Gros, and he was called that because he was...
Gareth, we cannot
'cause he was
dismiss the
fat.
humor because it is funny.
It's very funny. I mean, I put up a thing on Instagram yesterday of Asterix and Ozempics instead of Obelix.
Yeah.
And Obelix is all thin. And, there's a lot of stuff around that because being fat or being weak or being greedy or being ugly are all things that are a source of tremendous humor
humour
for
in
us,
it.
of course. So then there is the serious side, which is that we live in a country where they talk about, I don't know whether it's ever actually going to happen. It's legislation that is now pending and waiting for a few processes, but it's supposed to happen. The health department has said it's going to. National health insurance, which means healthy young people are going to be paying for sick old people and people who put themselves in harm's way by not looking after their bodies.
Yes.
And I don't think that's fair. I also don't think it's fair that the health system is burdened by people who don't look after themselves. And there's a difference between that and having the kinds of hormonal and or lifestyle problems that so many people have that get them into that position. So I didn't want to go down a long path of having to justify this.
And-
yeah, of course.
yeah.
But I think
But it's so
Ozempic's fucking
interesting.
great. I think it's amazing. I think
So,
it's great that
yeah.
people can
The
start to
GLP-1
feel healthier, look healthier,
Yeah.
have better lives. No one, I'm sure everyone who is fat and who knows that they are and aren't lying to themselves like these body positivity people, I'm sure that they don't look forward to summer because it's fucking unbearable.
Absolutely.
To be hot and sweaty and to have to haul your lard ass around.
To wear a shirt at the pool.
It must be so depressing.
It should be.
And
Yeah.
they are
It's,
linked.
it's way beyond that. It's just being able to get your legs into your fucking underwear.
Yeah, sure.
You know, it's being able to wash yourself properly.
Yeah.
It's what is it? Occupational therapy is what
Yeah,
you would
sure.
usually go for something like that. But if you look at GLP-1s and the reason why they exist, obesity is not the number one reason why you take them. Firstly, it deals with your inflammation, protects your heart, protects your lungs, protects your kidneys, protects your liver. The benefits are endless, and they're all the
Yes.
benefits that a GLP-1 gives you
Yeah.
are of a healthy person. And then weight loss is separate from that.
Yes.
Look, it's a reality now, and I don't think it's a bad one. I love the fact that all the hypocrisy is now laid bare, and people have just got to be honest about it.
Yes.
Like and also, by the way, if you're on it and you don't tell people, I suppose that's your business. That's okay.
Yeah.
But I think it's it would be helpful to other people to know if you suddenly have lost a whole lot of weight and you are looking and feeling better, and they want to know how, because they also want to feel that way. It would be. That's why I like the
But
fact
then
that you
what
two
must
both.
I tell you that my heart medication is working so well? I must let you know the reason why I feel so well is because my heart's my
I think
medication is
if
working well.
if people ask you, "Oh my God, you've lost so much weight," and then you go, "Oh yeah, I've been working really
Oh, no,
hard."
but then you're lying on
That's
top
lying.
of it.
Again, it's the dishonest part of it
Yeah.
that bothers me. Corruption is the number one cause of death in South Africa, says Goon. That's probably true. I don't know if we could fit that onto there. By the way, can we just talk? Just moving on from Ozempic, and unless you want to add anything else.
No,
I'm
no,
going to add
all
one
good.
more thing about when it comes to, it's not just about the weight loss and being fat, it's also about the nutrition as well. And there's one thing that I was actually arguing with my parents about a few weeks ago. And because my mom was drinking this juice, I come from a family where they think drinking juice is like the healthiest thing ever. I have
Like fruit juice?
Fruit juice,
Okay, yeah.
yes.
With
So-
sugar in it.
Yes,
Yeah.
so I think you know this already, Leigh-Ann, but the amount of added sugar a female's supposed to have per day is about 24 grams per day.
I'm not into the grams and shit. I'm just trying to survive.
Yeah. And then
Look, the farts go out, the chicken goes in. I'm not weighing grams
Oh,
at
so-
this point in my life.
so I'm like a macro whore. Like I count everything, and because I count everything, I've learned about like how much sugar we should be having in a day.
Right.
So for a fully grown man, you should be having max 30 grams of added sugar per day. Fully grown women,
That's not a lot. Huh?
max
30 grams
25
is really,
grams.
that's not a lot at all.
It's not a lot because I took a bottle of juice my mom was drinking, turned it around, and it said for every 250 mils of juice is 24 grams of sugar, added
Ew.
sugar. And I was like, your glass is not even 250
No.
milliliters.
My God.
So, and you're having multiple glasses of this throughout the day, and you're going to have your tea and your coffee with sugar,
Yeah.
and you're going to have other things that have added sugar. And what happens, and my mom's not even fat, but she's pre-diabetic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's not even fat.
That's a big problem in this country, eh?
Yeah, so we
A lot of
think so
people
many
are.
things are healthy and we actually don't do our research about nutrition. We don't educate ourselves. And we think, oh, I'm switching from Coke to juice. The juice has more sugar.
Yeah.
So we just have to educate ourselves.
It's one of the funny things I saw on a graph a while ago is that apparently dry lemon has more sugar in it than Coca-Cola.
But you
It
can feel
does.
that dry lemon
lemon.
actually hurts my teeth. That's how I know how much sugar's in there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. You have like a sensor.
Yeah, I have a sugar sensor in my teeth.
All right, so I wanted to get onto this G20 because it's if you listened to the news reports on TV
Yes.
and radio, which, by the way, I haven't listened to radio in ages, and Leigh-Ann, you're going to love this. Mash, you will too.
Yeah.
In Cape Town last weekend, I was there for an event, so I was in a rental car, which, again, what a nightmare. I don't know how the rental car business is still operating because normally when I go there, I just Uber because it's Cape
Yeah.
Town. You never really need to go
You
far.
don't really need a
This
car.
event was a little out of town, so I needed to get a rental car. What a palaver. Not because, because this happened a while ago when I had to rent one. I mean, the deposit, it costs a lot,
If
to
you're there
hire
for a
rental
week
car.
and you're going to drive around
Sure.
to wine farms and then
But this is not the point of
Yeah.
the story. So there's radio on in the car. It's one of those local stations that we don't get in Johannesburg. So it's very Cape Town. It's got a very Cape Town vibe. There's a DJ on there who I remember from 17 years ago.
Yeah.
Still doing it. Okay. And with all the love in the world, if you can, cool. If you can stomach that shit. But I really thought, I haven't listened to radio in probably about 10 years. Okay. Maybe more. And nothing has changed. Here's what he said that it was so cringe, I remember it. It's burnt onto the inside of my skull. This guy goes, and here's Adele with Rolling in the Deep when you have oceans of emotion. And the hair on my arm stood up and I was like, what a fucking lame. Isn't that pathetic?
Yo, that is, yeah.
That's like 1995 levels of cringe
there's that
going
there's,
on.
There's,
Oh, it's bad. And then he goes, and now it's time to go to the news. And he goes to the news and they've got their news jingle.
Do you
Yeah,
remember?
exactly. Oh,
I
it's
never
so
ever,
bad.
I never introduced myself as a news reader
Yeah, I remember.
Why?
because you fucking know who I am already.
From
Yeah.
the rest
Why
of the
must
show.
I tell
yeah.
you
This is Leigh-Ann Moore.
every single hour for 3 hours a day for 5 days a
And
week?
with the 1 o'clock news, I'm
I'm
Leigh-Ann
Leigh-Ann
Moore.
Moore.
Yeah, just in case we're too stupid to
and
figure it out.
I just felt like it was embarrassing and awkward, so
Well,
I never did it.
This show, I mean, the 15 minutes or whatever that I was
Yeah.
listening, God, it was bad. And I suddenly realized that there are people who are still listening to that and have not realized there are better things
No.
It's
in
the
like
best thing to them.
15 years. They don't
Yeah.
know that things on the internet are available that will make their lives better. Anyway, I mean, we'll get to the comment section in a second. So the G20's happening, guys.
Yes.
I know you're very excited. Radio and TV people
I actually
are making
am
big
for a few
noise.
reasons and not for others, but yes.
Why are you excited?
Well, I'm excited because I finally drove Catherine Street today.
Oh, and you like all the things they've done.
There was not what are those things? Those yellow boards, those plastic things with sand in them.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Barriers.
The barriers, the
There were no barriers.
construction
Everything was
stuff.
absolutely perfect. Our pavements look beautiful. I'm
Yeah,
so pissed
great.
off that this was not done for us human beings and citizens.
Well, the rate
But
paying.
it looks beautiful.
The rate paying citizens. It just shows you, and again, I feel sick when I think about the fact that this government only seems to care when it's their friends from overseas
Showing off.
who are visiting. We pay our taxes and our rates and our municipal rates and taxes every month. Otherwise, they shut off your water and your electricity and everything
Certainly.
else, right? And yet we don't get this kind of treatment. We're the ones paying for this.
It's actually a respect thing too.
They're laying on this huge thing for the G20 now, which, look, I mean, lots of countries do it, so we're not the only country in the world that's hosted something like this. It is an expense. We're paying for everything. People fly in. They're apparently closing the highways this weekend, which, again, just like that stupid cycle race they do in Joburg every year, you can't punish the people who they're going to work. You know, people have things to do over the weekend that are involved in. There might be doctors, nurses, people who work in important and critical areas that are now going to have to plot a complicated route to get where they're going because Vladimir Putin needs to use the highway. I mean, we're not a country which enjoys bowing and scraping to kings and princes and treating political leaders who only got there because they won a popularity contest like they're celebrities.
We call our own president Cupcake. Who are you?
Correct. And these guys must not shut down the roads so that a bunch of self-satisfied assholes, many of whom are dictators across the world who run their own countries like their own personal fiefdoms. This is not one of those countries, Mash, Leigh-Ann. We don't want that. We don't appreciate you shutting down our highways. We're the ones who are paying for it, not the government.
Yes.
But we do like the fact that the place looks nice. Unfortunately, you're setting a standard for yourself now. And we know that within 7 days of the G20 ending, it's all going to go to shit again.
Yeah.
Because we're not dealing with competent and capable and meaningful people. We're dealing with insubstantial, non-serious people. So enjoy it while it lasts. But if it's going to inconvenience you this weekend, I feel for you. I really do.
100% agreed. And then, of course, there's the other thing, and that's the Women for Change gender-based violence
I heard
movement.
about
Is that today?
I don't know.
It's the 21st. It's the shutdown today.
It was their aim to have gender-based violence declared a national disaster.
Yes.
And
Because declaring things makes all the difference.
Cupcake did declare it yesterday.
He did. He made a big fuss of it in his speech. I saw a little bit of that. Do you care about this?
Yes, I do. Because as a victim of gender-based violence, where I was severely beaten up and at one stage spent 3 weeks in hospital because of it, I do care deeply about it.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I care about it because there are other people who are in this situation and that I see it.
Yeah, but what I mean is when people protest or they ask for something to be declared something or they want a government to set up a committee about something, we know that that is just performative. It's not going to change the lives of any
I care
one
about
woman.
it, but I'm not. My profile picture isn't.
Is it purple?
No. What I'm
Mine is
talking-
also not purple.
So this is the point I'm getting to. It's like,
Slacktivism.
yeah,
Exactly. I know this is.
and most people who are, and I'm not just singling out this women's shutdown, whatever it is. I don't know very much about it. This is news to me, and listen, it's a great cause to support. Who in the
Certainly.
world is pro woman abuse?
Exactly.
I mean, I know there are men who are doing it. Clearly, they are.
You know, Gareth,
But no, they're not going to go and put a profile picture of their like wife's bruised face or whatever. I think that this is a problem that we've got to start acknowledging is not something that has to do with the government. I'm always happy to blame the government, right? With this G20 and all the things that they are doing right or aren't doing right. But domestic violence is not the government's fault or the government's problem. And for them to declare something is about all they can do.
Yeah.
If you think that's going to bring change, you're wrong. It's a problem. This is a problem on a family level. This is a problem on a personal level. And this is a problem where we as South Africans have to look in the mirror and deal with ourselves on a daily basis. It's going to require consistent work. But this political performance around it is not helping the victims of these
What is a political
horrendous-
performance going to do to a societal problem?
Nothing.
It's going to do
Zero.
absolutely nothing. And changing profile pictures. You know, me and my best friend, my friend who I do my videos with on Instagram, we haven't changed our profile pictures to purple. And we're discussing it. We're like, everyone we know, the profile pictures are purple. It's just us. Like,
And
does it make it look like we support gender-based violence?
And to just remind, it's not only women, it's LGBT.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do they have to do with it? Or are they just glomming on?
No, there's violence.
Violence,
and
No, I know.
gender-based
We-
violence.
Listen, the numbers are in. There is more domestic abuse in lesbian relationships per capita. In other words,
Really?
yeah. If you're a gay woman, those relationships have more. Again, these are statistics mostly in the United States. I don't know whether ours is similar. I'd assume they would be.
Yeah.
But there's more physical violence
Wow.
Damn.
in lesbian. per capita, obviously, there are less lesbian relationships
Actually,
by
yeah.
a huge degree. I think they're like 1, maybe 2% of the US population is gay or lesbian. And lesbians account for an outsized amount of domestic violence if you had to take each category and say, well, this is domestic violence. So yes, but are we particularly a country where I know that there are terrible things happening to all kinds of people in South Africa, but what is this a political thing too, that the LGBTQ community just get pulled into every cause now? What have they got to do with this? Any specific reason? Can someone explain that? Or does it just sound like it's a bigger coalition if you bring in the LGBT?
It's a coalition.
You want to form a victim coalition, so you bring in all the people who feel they're put upon. Is that what it is?
Also, nobody wants to feel not included nowadays.
Oh,
We want to
for fuck's
include
sake.
everyone.
Can I
Gareth.
tell you what? I don't want to be included. I don't want to be included in any of your protests. I don't want to be included in any of your victim groups. I don't want to be included in your medical trials. I don't want to be included in your thoughts and prayers. Leave me alone. I want none of that
Your
stuff.
thoughts and
So
prayers.
I know that there are people, Mash, you're wrong. You're
Yeah.
wrong. You're exactly right. People want to be included because they were raised like veals or they weren't raised at all. And they're just desperate for love and attention. And most people want to belong more than anything else because they're deeply insecure and they don't feel like they can stand on their own 2 feet. That's the reality.
And also, remember, everyone is a narcissist at the end of the day. It's one thing that I've noticed recently because I recently had a kind of an awakening, especially on social media, where I learned that it's not about me. I shouldn't be making content that I want to make. None of it is about me. I have to look outwards. Yeah. And as soon as I started looking outwards, I realized and it opened my eyes to the fact too, everyone's looking inwards. You look at everyone, my outfit of the day, spend a day with me.
No, that's
I've
social
never
media.
Everyone's a
been-
narcissist.
I've never been
social
a
media.
social media person.
You're not wrong.
It's my
And
job.
what you're saying is very much linked to many of the conversations we've had with Dr. Hanan, where if you are depressed and unhappy, the first thing you should do is look to others.
Yeah.
Get outside of your own head. Just do something. Do something with your hands.
Absolutely.
Make something. Go and devote time and energy to other people.
Get a hobby.
Again, to be clear, with this women's shutdown or whatever it is, I don't know why they need to shut things down. I think that could backfire horribly. What if there's a women's shutdown and it doesn't change the economy by a blip? That's going to be embarrassing because then people are going to say, oh, okay, well, clearly these women, whether they're shut down or they're at work, don't make a fucking difference. Just be careful what you ask for.
but you also
I wish
you get these kind of all-in extremists.
Yeah, I wish the protesters and the people who feel deeply about this well. I think it is an issue in this country. It comes up. It gets used as a political football that politicians gain virtue points for when they've done nothing to earn it. We've got politicians in this country who've been convicted of abuse and of femicide and of other things that are horrific. But I think we have a violent society in general. People don't talk about the rate of male suicide. They don't talk about how our prison populations are 90-odd% male. They don't talk about how all the dangerous jobs are done by men. And now we have to have a special protest day because we are sensitive to women being abused, which is correct. But if you're going to claim that you care about this, then you need to do more than change your profile picture. And
Yes.
I'm not impressed because you're in a social media movement. You called it slacktivism earlier. There's a lot of that going around where people are actually saying and doing things to impress the people they know or people that they don't know on the internet rather than actually caring. So
Yeah.
I ask people now when they say they're joining a protest, I ask them like 10 questions. And most of them are like, what's wrong with this guy? But if you protest, if you say you care a lot,
Yeah.
then you should be able to answer questions about it. You've thought about
Certainly.
it, right? You've applied your mind. You've spent some time. You've interrogated the pluses and minuses of a position, and you've decided I'm a vocal supporter of this. It's alarming to me how many people who say they support something, when you make any inquiries,
They don't know.
It's superficial as hell.
Yeah.
So if I meet anyone today who's wearing purple, who's changed their profile
Wearing
picture,
black.
whatever, I don't know, whatever culty nonsense they make people do in these protests, that's fine. Happy for you. I care about women being abused too. I'm happy to say I've never abused a woman in my life. I think every man can start with that.
Yeah.
Let's just start with that. How about you fucking behave yourselves? And we don't have to have a shutdown, which the economy cannot afford at this point. Let's start there. And then if you can answer the questions about why you care about this and you've thought about it, and it's not just doing it so that you can be seen to be a nice person or have your friends do the same as you, belonging, like Mash said now, because there's a lot of this is just about belonging, getting in with a crowd. Like, I'm also, me too, me, pay attention to me. You know, something comes along and this is what happens. I certainly do not want to diminish what this means to women who are dealing with this harsh reality on a daily basis.
Certainly.
Because that's a major problem.
Yes.
And we should be in disgrace as a country, embarrassed beyond belief that we have such high rates of abuse of women in particular, but just violence in society. It's just bad. It's just bad. There's no excuse for it. But if you're just one of those people who likes to score the easy points on social media, I don't have a whole lot of respect for that. So don't expect me to join either.
I changed my profile picture to purple. I'm a good person.
Yeah, that's it.
Don't question. Don't question it.
You know, if something costs you nothing, if your ability to become a part of something has a low barrier to entry,
You need to put in the effort.
yeah, but then your participation and belonging it must be undervalued. It must be valued at the amount of sacrifice you've made to be a part of something.
Certainly.
And the thing is, for me, it's the quiet longevity type actions. You know, I've always been an animal rights activist. I've always looked after animals. People know me as the person to come to if they find a dog on the side of the road.
Yes.
Or a cat that's half dead.
Sure. No, and I mean, you've adopted half the cats in Joburg.
And they've all died of old age. Of old age.
Yeah. No, it's been very happily looked after. In yours. Yeah.
But it's that lifelong commitment to doing something like that. You know, it's chatting to my mom's carers, one of whom is currently being abused. The other has a bullet wound to her leg
Hey, boo.
because her husband shot her.
No.
Yes.
It's about having conversations with them and saying, get out of this relationship. You can do it. Let me help you.
Yes.
What can we do financially? Let's start a business for you.
Being active.
And not telling anyone about it. I've just told you now because of the conversation.
Yeah.
But before that wouldn't
No, I
have
love
been
that.
known.
I think
That's what it's about.
I think that's tremendous,
it's
Leigh-Ann.
doing
That's-
things quietly.
That's tremendous. You know, again, we all have some responsibility in this. This is not one of those things. I don't mind people blaming the government. It's something that happens. Or saying society as a whole and just kind of, because that's an amorphous, numinous thing that we can all just say, oh, well, it's society's problem. But we are part of society. So
We are.
start with yourself. Tidy up your own household. If you know someone who behaves like this, who's a perpetrator of this kind of thing, then speak up and do something about it. And if you're a strong man and you see a situation where a woman's being beaten, fuck the guy up.
Yeah.
Like you have to intervene.
Absolutely.
Don't do that. It's none of my business when the woman in the house next door is screaming. You know, I think that will very quickly start to alleviate the problem. But it's a family, community, male and female problem. This is not a thing that we need Cupcake to say something about. I mean, like,
Certainly.
you know, why don't Cupcake's got enough that he isn't dealing with that we frankly need some answers
He's
from
so
him
busy
on.
not dealing with things.
That guy. All right, so Blind History is back, and we've got episode 2 launching today. We had episode 1, which people have been very happy with by the sound of things. If you're not, then do let us know, and I'll ignore you. And the first episode was Henry VIII, and today we're doing Roman women.
He was the fat one, right?
He was fat.
In the octagonal
fat.
Coffin.
Yes. He was so fat that the horse that he had to sit on in an enormous suit of armor, his last suit of armor, the waist circumference was, I don't know, I think 120 inches or something. It was a lot.
Inches.
I know, it was big. And it had expanding like things where you could release, because he was a mess.
Yeah.
Well, he needed a GLP-1.
He did.
But he also ate so much.
He ate a lot. He ate like 15-course meals and all that kind of thing. But, and I don't want to go into a whole discussion of Henry VIII here. I heard the other day that he also, much of his trouble came about because he was quite a like Renaissance hunk prince when he started off, right? Like he was athletic and good looking and fit and all of those things. And then in a tournament,
kind of like a Marlon Brando. Started off really hot.
Started off well and then turned into like Dr. Moreau, which is one of Marlon Brando's roles. He had an injury because he was jousting and his leg got, I don't know, there was a splinter and it went septic, and eventually he ended up with these ulcers, these disgusting, revolting, smelly ulcers. And that kind of sent him into a spiral. So he just ate and lost his temper all the time. And anyway, it's all in the Blind History episodes, which I'm doing with Anthony Medera, and which you can get on the Real Network's website. You can get it wherever you get good podcasts, etc., etc. Also, don't miss episodes of Pearl Tusi and her daughter Tando. We've also got On the Bounce. We've also got episodes of Shady Pod, the Shady Podcast, the Shady Pod, right? That's what we call it in meetings. What's happening on the Shady Pod? So all of those are taking place as we speak. Apparently, record numbers on Pearl Tusi's conversation with Zunaid Motti.
Oh, wow.
You know that guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Been a big episode in the last couple of days. So if you haven't seen that, you might want to go and take a look. And today on this show, we've got Gilli Apter popping by. She's one of my favorite funny people in the world. And she's been all over Europe lately. I think Nina Hasty was in here the other day talking about her. They're good friends. So she's going to pop by. Ben will be here just now. It's going to be a very, very jam-packed, busy show. Dr. Hanan. What's the time? What time do you have to go to Dr. Hanan?
It is just about to be 2:45.
Oh, my God.
It's
Okay,
about
you see?
to be 2:45.
You see, that's like when your stomach goes, oh, I need to take a shit, but you happen to be near a loo.
Yeah.
Or when you wake up automatically in the morning because you're used to waking up at the same time every day.
Yeah, it's just
I'm like,
ingrained.
it's time for Dr. Hanan, isn't it?
My mental health.
Yeah, exactly. Starting to spin out of control. All right, just quickly while we're waiting for Dr. Hanan, because this is potentially something that could interest a bunch of people. There's so much going on in the world right now, and the comments section is one of the places that there's a lot going on.
Hey.
So no matter what the circumstances may be, there is no reason to raise your hand to anybody, let alone someone who is smaller than you. Send me that puss and I'll fight him. That's from,
But then they've said there's
From
no
Togolos.
reason to raise your hand, and then they've said send him to me and I'll fight him.
Yeah, but if someone is...
So he's given himself a reason.
No, I'll tell you what. If there are reasons to raise your hand to
But
somebody.
he's saying there isn't, and then
yeah, I know.
I'll fuck him up.
That's stupid. That's, again, hypocrisy. And then we've got this from... I must say, for Friday, it's taken on a whole new meaning. What do you mean? What are you talking about? This is from who? Rebellious Ruth, the chairman of the comments section.
The chairman.
Yeah, that's right. I saw a video this morning of some guy in a town in Michigan wanting to burn the Quran, and the Muslim population confiscated it. He got a second and started slapping it with bacon. The Muslims went apeshit. Listen, I'm not a religious person. I feel like there are probably good reasons not to burn a Quran or a Bible or a
There are
Torah.
also good
or anything
reasons
else.
not to be religious.
Sure, but America, as far as I know, has something called the First Amendment, which allows you free expression. That free expression even extends to pissing people off by treating their holy text with disrespect, whether it's a Bible or a Quran or anything else. So tough titties, America. That's what you got. That's the rule in your own country. Okay, a lot of people saying they're having a very good start to their day despite not being invited to the G20.
Oh, how boring, though. Can you imagine?
Oh, I can't.
Would you want to
Oh my,
attend?
are you kidding?
Wow.
For what?
What do you get for it?
I actually felt sorry. I could hear these people jetting in.
Yeah.
And I thought that's the best time they're going to have is on the plane or in the hotel.
Yeah.
Because they're going to spend their weekend locked up in this room.
Talk, talk, talk.
Ew.
Oh, sounds absolutely
Also, those
awful.
talk shops are so uninteresting, right?
Yeah.
Have we got Dr. Hanan? Okay, well, you'll give me some indication, James. I mean, I'm flying blind here, and
Well, Dr. Hanan is coming.
Where's your earpiece?
I'm just getting a signal from James that he's got Dr. Hanan on the line. I do have something else to tell you quickly, and this is very funny. I don't know if you guys, clearly you two are, aware of this, but there are all these words that you can't say on the internet. Maybe it's more of a TikTok thing than anywhere else.
Yes.
You can't say kill, you have to say unalived.
And
YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Segs instead of sex.
Yeah.
You
can't say-
prostitute or sex worker would be accountant.
Yeah. You can't say needing ninoda. You have to say ED. And nini ninoda.
Eating
I can't say
disorder.
it.
Why? What childish shit is this?
Oh, YouTube
I know,
and
it's
them
crazy.
are so
It's
strict
so
on this
weird.
stuff.
Why? Like, what are we dealing with? Adults or children?
What are the other ones you can't
You
say?
can't say corn with a
Porn,
you've got- you
right?
can't say porn.
You say porn is corn. There are a whole lot of them.
yeah, pew pew.
Because, yes, a pew
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 for
is
a gun.
right?
Yeah.
'cause this is safetyism gone mad.
It's so
Hey,
weird.
hey.
It's unbelievable. All right, Dr. Hanan, before we go into the mental health of people who would actually, grown-up adults who would say pew pew because they don't want to say what it is, a gun.
Well, no, it's not them. It's the platform will take your content down.
Yeah.
Ludicrous.
So
And
they've
these
made us the most stupid name
We
they
have to
can.
make it stupid.
Which is a
It's-
pew pew.
Yeah.
embarrassingly, unbelievably
Yeah.
asinine and childish. But anyway, that's not what we're going to talk to Dr. Hanan about this morning. Doc, I was in Cape Town last weekend. The place is heaving. Apparently, there was a story in the news this week about how you cannot get, especially if you're a student, accommodation in Cape Town at all. It is just chock-a-block, and it's not even December yet. The place is a magnet. There are people who do this thing called Semigration, where they sell everything in Joburg, and they move to a much smaller place in Cape Town because, I don't know, I think the DA are better. Or who knows? Who knows what the reason is? But a lot of people are also looking for a new chapter in their life, and maybe Semigration gives them the opportunity to start again, reinvent themselves. Is this a thing that is in any way linked to psychology, mental health, the idea of people opening up new chapters in their lives? That surely isn't a bad thing, or is it?
So no, it completely is related to human nature, which is we gravitate towards things that make us feel good, and we pull away from things that make us feel bad. No person and no place can claim loyalty to anybody, and people are not loyal to their place if the place doesn't treat them well. No relationship can hold up if it's not good for you. No place can hold up if it's not good for you, and people naturally gravitate to where they're treated better. And if Cape Town, or for that matter anywhere else, treats them better, there's a pull to a particular place and a push from a particular place, then people will naturally take it, and you can't blame them.
Are you going anywhere this weekend? Because you're probably not going to be able to. Talk about push and pull. You have to pay for the amazing infrastructure and maintenance that's suddenly been carried out in Johannesburg. But God forbid you should actually use the road to get to an appointment tomorrow or Sunday, because you probably won't be able to. The highways are being closed. Also that Chairman Xi and Putin and Cyril can drive around without us plebs, us peasants, us taxpayers having to inconvenience them by taking up space on their roads.
Yeah, look, yesterday I had a patient that literally lives 10 minutes away from me. He came to the session. He said it took him 55 minutes to get to me. But again, it just speaks to the value that, you bring. People are prepared to travel for good service. People are prepared to pay and travel and invest time and energy into things that create value for them. And could we completely relate this to any relationship? If you want somebody to stay, if you want somebody to be attracted to you, just add value to their world.
All right, so let's just talk about reinvention, because it's also a very hot topic at the moment. There are people who get it right and people who get it wrong. What would your what would your warnings be to people who are considering major changes? Because I think anxiety around those changes is probably what prevents a lot of people from moving forward. But let's also be reasonable. Don't fix it if it ain't broke. Like maybe people, the desire to change something, and I've seen this in friends of mine. I've seen it in famous people. You see them making drastic decisions because they're bored or they feel stuck or whatever, and they end up worse afterwards. Rather than being like happy about what they've got, being grateful for the world that they already inhabit. And sometimes they make choices just out of boredom. Not a good idea.
So you know what, Gareth? The change is inevitable. It's part of the human experience. Whether you want to change or don't want to change, it's going to happen. You know, we enter into different phases all the time. You're not the same person that you were 5 years ago, and you're not the same person that you will be in 5 years' time. And never mind that, you're not the same person that you were 3 days ago. We change all the time. Our needs, our wants, our likes, our dislikes, our priorities. You know, we move from dating somebody maybe to getting engaged, to maybe getting married, maybe starting a tribe. We enter into new job opportunities. We enter into new places. So change is inevitable. And the human nature fights almost like two opposing forces. On the one hand, we want to stay secure and safe in our comfort zone. But on the other hand, we want to drive and chase things that are meaningful to us.
Right.
So we're always fighting those two opposing forces where we want to stay safe and stay stuck because it's familiar, it requires less metabolic energy expenditure. But on the other hand, we want to change. So the reality is that, how many times have I said this on the show, that mental health is all about the chase. It's all about the chasing of goals that are meaningful to you. But here's the trick. You are going to chase, and you have to chase. It's important to look externally in terms of chasing your goal as opposed to looking internally and feel stuck. But what you chase makes the difference between health and ill health. I've said this, and my favorite quote of all time is, if you're not the chess player of your life, you're a pawn in someone else's. If you don't chase goals that are meaningful to you, you will chase goals that are meaningful to somebody else. Right. The very popular quote, you know, the squeakiest wheel gets the first drop of oil, which means the loudest thing in your life will naturally get your first piece of attention. But the loudest thing in your life is not necessarily the most important things in your life.
Right.
So you have to make the important the loudest. So to answer your question, reinventing yourself is important, but chase things that are meaningful to you. Growth, change, chasing things that are meaningful to you, as opposed to growth and change and chasing things that are meaningful to somebody else. Be intentional in terms of what you chase, as opposed to letting somebody else dictate what is important to you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here with these two, and both of them are like MASH, certainly, and I know Leigh-Ann's going to be there too. Now, half the people that they were 2 years ago, and that's a kind of change that's worth taking on, right? Being healthier, trying to take responsibility for things. We were talking earlier about protests. These are sometimes that's what gives people meaning in their life. And I suppose everybody's got to find something that they care about. If you really care, if you care enough about something, then it can have a tremendously positive effect.
Definitely. A very good question is, tell me about you. Your first three things will be the things that you care most about. I am A. And people that don't have I am A, I don't know, who am I, what do I chase, what do I love? Those are the people that are about already feeling depressed. You got to have your loves. You got to have your chases. But again, make it intentional, because if you don't know what you're chasing, you're still chasing, but you're chasing something that is important to somebody else. So know what you're chasing, have your goal, have your target, have your vision, and go and get that. That's very important.
Just before you go, you know, far be it for me to change the motivational tone of your last couple of sentences there, Dr. Hanan, but I also think there's something about the power of negative thinking. And this is probably a less popular offshoot of the motivational kind.
What is that?
But you know, it's really important to hate some things too. It's really important to dislike and to eschew things in your life that are bad for you.
Certainly.
I think that it's important to know what you don't approve of, what you don't appreciate, what you don't like in other people, so that you can identify those things and clear them out of your life so that you can be happier. And a lot of people are all about, you can do anything, you can be anything. And I'm like, no, sometimes you really need someone in your life who could tell you, no, you're shit at that, just stop. Don't you think there's value there?
Yeah, listen, life is the great equalizer. I can think that I can be an NBA player, but in reality,
No, it's
I
never
can't.
gonna
I can
happen.
think that I can be.
Certainly.
It's just never going to happen. And it's important to face reality. And by the way, if you don't have a good friend or a partner or somebody in your world that will teach you that lesson, then life will do it for you. Because life doesn't have feelings towards what you want or what you don't want. Life is just objective. If you deny gravity, gravity still exists.
Yeah.
If you deny the laws of nature, they still exist whether you want to or not.
Right.
So yes, it's very important to know where your limitations are, because otherwise what ends up happening is that life will then punish you. If you ignore your limitations, life will show you that the limitations exist. And it's okay. Listen, we don't have to be good at everything. We don't have to be capable in everything. We don't have to succeed in everything. Pick your lane. The Ferrari on the racetrack is very healthy. The Ferrari in the garage is going to fall apart. But some things are built to be in the garage, like a tool set, and some things are built to be on the racetrack. Know who you are, know what you're good at, know what you're capable of doing, know what your limitations, and go and live it out.
Jeez, my dreams of becoming Miss South Africa are crushed.
I know, Leigh-Ann's been harboring this fantasy for a long time.
Dr. Hanan, that's the worst thing you've done
Spoiled
to me.
her whole weekend. Just one other quick thing.
But you know what? That's important. But that's important because we as parents, when we tell our kids you can be anything and do anything, that is actually quite abusive, because they will get out into the real world. And the real world will show you otherwise. So if you're not going to teach your kids early, then the world will take your role and teach them later on.
Certainly.
Thank you for that. Now, there's some powerful stuff to wrap up with Dr. Hanan.
But Leigh-Ann, yes, you can. Leigh-Ann, yes, you can, and you must try.
Yeah, all right. Very good. Thanks, Dr. Hanan. Nice to see you, and we'll check in with you next week. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Well, before we change it up, and we got to get to sport and a whole lot of other stuff, and Ben is here. You see we got you a new sofa, Ben. No, nice.
It's not comfortable, Ben.
No, it's really not comfortable. Leigh-Ann has been complaining about it all morning. I
Can't
do
sit
want to
back.
quickly, can I just go back to these words for a second? Because I didn't want to waste any of Dr. Hanan's time on stupid shit like this. But you guys are on the internet. You're both influencers and you deal with social media and all that kind of thing. Why are we self-censoring and allowing these platforms to censor us? How does not using the word suicide or gun or porn change anything about the way that it applies in the real world? Because people know what it is. It's like it's hypocrisy, right? Maybe this is the thing that is, if there's a theme going on in my head at the moment, it's like, just stop with the hypocrisy. Stop performing. And then when the cameras are off, you're a different person. Stop saying you care about things when it's clear from your actions that you don't. Stop using words that you don't mean. This drives me ballistic. Why is the
drives me
internet
mad.
allowing this to happen? Why does the internet encourage it?
Because especially certain words like the meeting Miss Morda, eating Miss Order.
Oh, right.
Yeah, ED.
You see,
They
you're
call
so
it
good
Ed
at it.
Sheeran.
You even use the...
But that term alone, in what other context apart from educationally would that term be used?
You know what? This stuff has pissed me off my whole life. Really.
No, that's why I like.
Right.
That's why I brought it up this morning.
Ever since the TV blocked my ears from hearing the word fuck with a beep, that pissed me off from a young age.
It's very stupid.
Every time
Don't
I heard
tell
the
me
beep,
what my ears can hear and what they can't.
I'd hear it in my head. Every time I hear the beep, my head goes fuck. Every time I hear the beep. So what's the point?
So this, I think it's a bunch of busybodies in society, men and women who feel that they, without ever receiving a vote or a mandate or a particular instruction from a group of people, they don't represent anyone. They're busybodies. Those people have always existed in society. We saw them come to the fore during COVID when they were reporting their neighbors.
Yeah.
It's the kind of people who they haven't got enough going on in their own lives that they feel they need to start involving themselves in other people's lives. And they start making rules for the rest of us that we didn't ask for.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's the same way as, and it is linked, it's not as dumb, but, you know, violence in movies, sex in television shows.
Yeah.
I understand the argument, for example, that children shouldn't be exposed. But the
Certainly.
parents of said children are the ones who must determine what goes into their kids' universe, right?
Certainly.
We live in an adult society. It's an adult-first society, as far as I'm concerned. Adults swear. We know what guns are. We know what violence is. We know what sex is. And I'm not saying that we should have that stuff sprayed all over mass media 24/7. But don't for a minute think that you can control this. Those busybodies, you don't know what the kids are up to. You don't know what they're going to see, and you can't make rules that you can't apply. And thanks to the world of the internet, we're not that dumb anymore that we can be propagandized with euphemisms, be told that video games create violence it's just nonsense. These have been debunked. We know it's nonsense.
And we know that people will always go to the next best platform. If your platform censors us in some type of way, for example, when Tumblr blocked porn, we all went to Twitter. We're like, okay, well, we'll go watch it there.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps happening is that you block one thing, we're going to go to the next platform. You're never going to win.
Well,
They're never going to win, these people. They're fighting a battle they'll never win.
it's good luck to you if you're a preachy kind of busybody who wants to tell everybody what words to use, how to feel about things. Good luck. It's never going to happen your way.
Yeah.
All right. Weekend plans. What are you up to?
Oh, I'm staying indoors. I have. Oh, by the way, I'm single. I
Oh
have a
shit!
date.
I'm sorry, man. that was going
I
so
was
well,
going to say
huh?
congratulations.
No, that was going so well. No.
It is a congratulations.
Yes.
How long was this relationship?
This relationship was about a year.
For you, that's not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, just about a year.
What, did you get too thin and good looking? What happened?
I think it's a bit of that, and
Sure.
I think also my lifestyle. Also being with someone who didn't get the lifestyle quite as much.
Because you wake up early, you eat only seeds.
yeah,
So many grams of
I'm having
whatever.
I'm counting my macros,
I mean, it would
my
be
protein.
horrible to live with you. I understand why.
I'm at gym for 3 hours every
my
single
word.
day,
Jesus.
and being with someone who doesn't do any of that stuff makes it a bit difficult because, you think I'm cheating for 3 hours every single day, and so on. So I was just like, you know what? I just need to
Okay,
reset.
well, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry. It's
No, it's a
nothing to
good
do
thing.
with me.
It's
Run
always
its
a good
course.
thing.
If you're happy, then I'm
Yeah.
happy for you.
That's all that matters.
When friends of mine are
Yeah.
in a relationship, I'm always delighted if
Yeah.
they're happy. If they're not happy, then
Absolutely.
they've got to fix that. It's
My
not
DMs are
problem.
not open. Please, people, don't even bother.
He's put a big no entry sign across his DMs. I thought of something the other day. I thought that this idea of being happy, because it comes
Yeah.
up often on the show. I want to know what you guys think of this. And we do have to bring Ben in here. It's already 7:05.
Well, now that we're getting skinnier and the sofa's big, he can sit
No,
here.
you can actually just climb in here. Ben. There's enough space in there. We could fit 5 people.
We're
we could
so
have the
skinny.
We could have the
Yeah.
G20 here if we wanted
Exactly.
to. I was thinking about how you should not take advice
Yeah.
or pay attention to people who are less happy than you.
Oh, you must never.
Right?
You
It's
must
like-
never.
So I often think, should you listen to people who are smarter than you? Lots of people are smarter than me.
Yeah.
So I would spend a lot of time, and I do, trying to listen to those people. Good idea.
Yeah.
People who are healthier than you, if you want to be healthier. Absolutely. But I think overall, being happy is a good goal to have.
Absolutely.
Especially if you not only are self-satisfied happy, but you could spread that happiness to other people.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
goal. That's a good reason to start the day and to go through your day and to behave all day.
Yeah.
Is to try and make other people happy. But if you want to do that, and I don't imagine there are a lot of people in the world who go, oh, no, I want to be unhappy. I want to spread unhappiness. If you are that kind of person, you're just a very tiny minority of malevolent fuckheads.
Piece of shit. Oh,
right. Yeah. Sure. Those, you say it. You say it again. We don't have to censor here. But if you want to be happy, only listen to people who are happier than you.
Yeah. It's similar to if you want to be rich, you're going to listen to people who are rich. You're not going to, for example, there's a saying that I actually heard recently, and it goes, I hope I do remember it correctly, but it went, never take advice about your money from someone who has no money.
Yeah.
Never take fitness advice from someone who
There are
is
a
obese.
lot of-
And there's a lot of obese fitness trainers that I'm seeing on TikTok nowadays.
There are a lot of poor financial advisors.
Obese,
Yeah.
not just overweight.
There's some overweight and obese fitness trainers that are popping up
Well.
on TikTok, and they're pushing this body
I mean,
positivity thing.
You're right. There are two subjects, though, that don't require any qualification.
Yes.
Which is why I don't talk about them as much anymore. The one is politics, and the other one
Yes.
is business. Because people seem to think, even if they've done nothing
Yeah.
and they understand nothing,
They can just show
that
up.
their opinion, their political opinion matters, or that they can start offering you business advice. Have you noticed this?
Yes.
There's a whole bunch of people who've got no money, have never done anything risky, never set anything up, never employed anyone, and they're doling out business advice.
Yeah.
I'm like, shut up. What do?
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
you renovated your house. You don't run a business, or you work for someone. You don't have a business. I don't want to hear your business advice. Thank you very much. I had some like 20-something kid the other day on Instagram waxing lyrical about the secrets of how to have a great life. And I'm like, shut up.
That was my page. Just
You
kidding.
haven't done but you haven't done anything. You don't know anything. Who asked for you to give?
Yeah.
Who's holding you up as some kind of paragon of life and wisdom? And shut up. Wait, give me 10 years.
Certainly.
And I might listen to you. I might pay attention to something that you've done. You have no life experience. You have no wisdom. You have no. You've never gone anywhere. You've never spoken to anyone interesting.
You know what happens, Gareth, ne? These people get mics, ne? And I think there should be some sort of committee where, like, if you want to do like a podcast or something, it has to be approved.
Yeah.
Like, you have to apply for it to be approved.
Yeah.
Because some of these people get mics and they just say whatever shit comes first to mind, and they there's no insight, there's nothing behind what they're saying. It's just surface
but
level.
you've got to be so careful of that, because if that's going to now be governed, we're back to radio.
No,
Where the freedom of coming out of radio
the
was...
internet, it's already starting to happen. You can see it separating the
People
wheat.
will
is happening
school
slowly.
you.
Of course, yeah.
Public
It's
will
already
school
happening.
you.
Yeah.
All right, let's get Ben in here. Mashiane, thank you very much for coming to join us this morning. Thank you very much for coming to join us this morning. As I said, Gilli Apter will be joining us shortly, and we've got a chock-full show, including for all the sports fans, a little bit of sport this morning. Of course, if you haven't realized, Ben's show is not every week, so you might not get the sports diet that you require there. You might have to seek it elsewhere, like on this show on a Friday, where we go through all the stuff. There's plenty of good sport to talk about. And I want to talk about... Oh, cheers, Mash. Don't worry, this is fine. Just go do whatever you want. There we go.
If we're in that mood.
Look, Leigh-Ann's going to go past that way. I mean, it's just like fucking Grand Central Station here.
Enjoy the sofa, Ben.
Yeah, how do you like the sofa? You complained about the last one. Is this better?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's a
no,
purple, pink GBV mauve. What
is-
color is this, Leigh-Ann?
Well, it's weird. On the screen, it looks red.
Yeah, it does.
But in real life, it's
Puce.
Benapus pink.
Yeah, I was going to go with
Benapus pink.
it's BPP for sure.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like someone's removed cushions, but it's fine.
Yeah, you have to sit quite far back in it.
No, it's my biggest gripe with the last couch is that it made you slump.
Yes.
So it's more of a posture, and
Is this a better posture?
yeah, I mean, I look like an actual adult now. I sound like a drunk, overweight person.
Hey, that hair's coming on nicely, huh?
Thanks, Gareth. Yeah,
Shit,
yeah.
that's a real... You're a good advertisement for this.
Week for week, it's coming on.
Oh,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
good.
it's been going for 5 months now.
Excellent. What are you going to waste your money on for Black Friday, Ben?
Fuck all. I reckon.
You're such a target market for Black Friday.
I know.
Said no one ever.
But it's the time. That's the thing. I know there's deals out there, but Black Friday robs you of time because now you feel like, shit, I've got to go onto these sites. I've
don't
got to
need
have a
it.
look. And before you know it, it's like a 2-hour rabbit hole, and you probably got like 15% off something you don't actually need.
You don't need it.
Also, I've just got so much stuff. I've got to come to a point in life where I can be honest with myself and say, you have so much stuff.
You have enough stuff.
Like, I might need to buy camera stuff, but even then, like, I'm not going to waste time on Black Friday.
This is also a huge problem going towards Christmas. Is like you have to buy presents for your family and maybe a couple of friends, maybe your husband or wife. But it's weird that all of us struggle. You get yourself into such a knot about what am I going to buy these people who have everything they need already, right? When you should just say you've got enough. I know it's not very Christmassy, but you should, when people ask me, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, family. They ask. Like, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Just get something small that makes it fun to open a present.
If someone were to ask me that right now, I'd probably say, I don't know, kombucha. I need nothing.
Yeah. Well, what a great place to be in.
Can you give me a Sandparks like credit card?
Because most people are living in a world of lack, right? So, and they genuinely believe, some right, some wrong, who am I to judge, that if they just had more stuff, they'd be happier.
Yeah.
If I had a cupboard full of clothes, if I had more of whatever shit you like, whether it's stuff you collect, whether it's food in the fridge, whatever. People think that if they just had more, they'd be happier. And it's great that you've got to a point where you're like, I don't need more stuff.
Yeah, but like I just live for adventure. We're talking with Hanan now about what are your purpose, what do you go after, those kind of things, because it defines your character. Yeah, like I hate malls, I hate shops. But when you were looking for adventure and things like that, I didn't even want binoculars or anything like that. It's just
Nothing.
Like, I started this week in the weirdest possible way.
You were in the...
It's in Kruger.
Yeah.
But it's just, I say weird because I never take for granted the fact that I get to do really, really fun things like this. But I get to do it with my parents because they obviously
Oh, is this the
retired.
weekend that you went away with them?
Yeah, but I flew up to meet them on Sunday to Skakusa. Have you ever done that before? Flown to that
I
airport?
have. It's a awesome airport.
What a cool... It's
very cool.
I've done some amazing things this year, but flying to Skakusa is right up there.
It's exciting, right?
Because it's like, it's an airport, but it's not really an airport. And it's just people from around the world get to this place. See all these nationalities. And everyone's so excited because now you're in the Kruger Park.
Yeah. It's very uniquely South African experience and something we can be quite proud of.
It's so great. But like I woke up, the start of this week was just in the park. I don't know where I was going with that part of the story. But yeah, I never take for
that's
granted.
where you started the week. Okay.
Yeah, and it was such a beautiful thing to be able to do. Spend 2 days with my parents doing something that all three of us like really enjoy. It's not like you sit around and you're obliged to do something. And then, I flew back Tuesday afternoon.
Very cool.
Wow. It was just such a cool start to the week.
Do you think people are already in a December go slow? Because I'm feeling that.
Absolutely.
And maybe even I'm to blame. Someone messaged me yesterday and said, hey, you said you'd have this to me today. And I was like, shit, I forgot that. But I do notice, because I don't want to sound like the hypocrite that I was complaining about before. I have noticed people are already, you really want to meet on Friday? Is that totally necessary?
But I also think we must fight these like permanent platitudes or whatever crap people go like, oh, it's been such a long year. No, it hasn't. It's been a year, okay?
Yeah.
Stop moaning.
Same time.
It's always this thing, it's been a difficult year. Like because whenever I turn my car and I generally forget to have my Bluetooth connected. So there'll always be like a smattering of radio that I've got to like have in my ears.
Yes.
And it's always the same. Yeah, it's been a tough year. It really has been. Hey, this year in particular, it's been so long. Guys, shut up. You're alive. It's here. It's December. We can be excited. Why must that be the start?
Can I complain about something?
Sure.
Okay. I went to I suppose you could call it a shopping center mall, sort of an open parking area, a bunch of buildings, and inside of them you're required to spend money. The gym is in the one.
Centurion. This is Pretoria based.
Yeah, but I haven't been to this particular gym for a while. It just happened to be on my way somewhere, and I thought, let me go there. It'll save me time. On the way in, there is a face scanner thing, facial recognition access machine.
For a strip mall.
For a strip mall. I mean, it's nothing fancy, and I don't know that they have a huge problem there with hijacking or theft more than anywhere else.
But they want to scan your face.
I have a problem with this. So, first of all, practically, it's the stupidest idea ever.
Yeah.
I even said to the people at the... I'm not going to walk to the mall management, but I said to the people at the desk as you walk into the gym, please tell the people who own this property or who manage this property that this thing is the worst idea in the world, and I'm not coming back to your gym because they've got this dumb system. Now, I'm not one of those paranoid people who's concerned that my face is being stored in a database and that someone's going to use it for nefarious purposes.
You're now on deepfake porn, yeah.
Yeah, correct. I mean, people are going to do that anyway, and just doing this show puts me at risk in the same way. So I'm not an idiot. But it's impractical, first of all, because the cars are backed up all the way into the next street.
Oh, gosh.
With their indicators on, because this thing is slow. It's a retarded face recognition system. So you go up to it, and then it goes, and it takes about 2 or 3 seconds before it clicks, and then it says, facial recognition approved, opens the boom, and you can go in. Stupid system. I mean, really, really stupid. Inconvenient. Also, I don't think that facial recognition solves any problems in a situation where you're trying to make a mall more safe or control access or whatever else. Just like a fingerprint system, you shouldn't be collecting that information. It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
And it says clearly on a board at the entrance, this will not be used for database or marketing purpose. I don't believe you.
Well, then you get data breaches that happen all the time.
I don't believe
these corporates have it leaked. Oh, sorry, we got hacked. Meanwhile, we sold this stuff.
I just think this is either people, busybodies, the same kind of people who want to regulate our words and our thoughts and know where we are at whatever time. You know, it's a big government kind of thing, but on a small scale. You know, if you own a shopping mall and you're really proud of yourself because you're able to manage it, really, I've got bad news for you. Like Ben just said it, I'll say it. Shopping malls are shit. None of you do it properly, and it's all awful. And no one wants to come to your places. We just have to. If you're going to put things in the way like booms and facial recognition software, it's just going to make us less likely to go there.
There's always the case that someone has to justify their job or is trying so hard within their realm.
Someone in a little windowless office.
It's like people who want meetings about meetings. So this security person probably thought, this is my chance to show how innovative I am. Yeah. We're going to buy the facial recognition thing. Yeah. So it's not just somebody who's just learned how to use a pen telling you to fill the form in. You can have facial recognition. This place is great. The tenants are going to love it. It's so modern.
Well, speaking of facial recognition, AI is out of control, and you've got to see this to believe it. This is a video of, it's obviously AI generated. That video of Nelson Mandela. So this is obviously AI generated, but it just shows you how realistic they're starting to become.
Right.
Where you can't tell the difference between fake and real. And obviously Madiba's been dead since 2013. He was never on a show like this. This is not a... This thing looks pretty damn accurate. Take a look and you tell me.
All right. Nelson, in the case of 8-month-old Lawazi, you are not the father.
Obviously, one of the things you could tell is that the AI hasn't quite got the movement. Right? Like he lands on his back.
At every stage of that clip, it wasn't him.
But it's very funny,
it's
right?
Very funny,
it's hilarious and at the same time kind of disturbing because they will get better. And eventually you won't be able to tell the difference.
No, I disagree with you on these things because we've had this conversation before. From the very first nanosecond, that was fake. Okay. You can tell because of look at how he looks. There are so many visual cues around how a person acts and behaves. And as soon as they go into these AI things, all of that's lost. It's all lost.
All right. Well, apparently The TV license is coming to an end. This is bad news for people like me who
You paid.
just recently paid.
I get
By the way,
so many messages now. Hey?
I paid, but now they will not leave me alone to make more payments.
Yeah,
so
you have to.
They
Well,
can get, now it's over.
It's every
Game
month.
over. Yeah, I know. So it's not necessarily an improvement or a difference in my life.
Yeah, I got a lot of messages this week.
You also get them.
I never check SMSs. I just know there's notifications coming up. It's like
Yeah.
if someone pays me or if I've like finance stuff, money,
Right.
important things, right? But then the TV license will just swiggle its way in there.
Have you heard what they want to do though?
Well, they've been wanting to do this for a while now.
Yeah.
Is that they want
More
to just
tax.
they want to just put it into tax. But my question, and it's a humble, obvious question, is why do we need the SABC?
We don't.
Do you know what their reasoning is?
What?
Their reasoning is that they need a fair and just voice for local broadcasting in this country so that people can't be fed propaganda.
But they are the chief agent of propaganda.
Yes, I know. This is irony is always lost in this place, but that's what they've come out to say. It's like more than ever, the SABC has to be funded so that people can understand what's going on in their world without lies.
Such an interesting thing to bring up. I mean, especially the cheek of bringing it up now when the BBC has just had half of their executives resign in shame. They have been found on numerous occasions in the last couple of years to have been guilty of blatant lies and propaganda. The BBC, which, by the way, was the model for the SABC in so many ways.
Sure.
You know, when the SABC was set up by the old regime, it was set up along the lines of the BBC, where the state would allow a media organization that was almost hegemonic. They were, before independent media came along in the late 80s, there was only the SABC, and that was very purposeful. They wanted to be able to get, I mean, the SABC building, there are still relics of what a state propaganda business it was. There was an entrance and a special place that ministers would go. They had the black and the white toilets on different levels with the sign colored in or the sign not colored in. They had a suite on the top floor of that building for the commissar, the executive who was going to get the call from the president. You are not going to broadcast that stuff. We have got unrest in the townships or whatever. It's a joke that the new regime in South Africa seem to love the ideas of the old regime just as much when it comes to state propaganda. Honestly, I think it's time that we just accept that the SABC must fail, that we must auction off that hideous building, sell the equipment, that which is still operable. We don't need it. If you shut down all of the radio stations and TV channels there tomorrow, I don't think there'd be terribly much protesting. I don't think there'd be a huge amount of uproar. I don't think people would feel like anything had been taken away or lost.
No, because we just stay on the internet.
That's where you are anyway.
That's where we are anyway.
Right. So the SABC
It's not
board,
essential, but they think they're essential. But what you just said there, like the Apartheid Museum for me is a great experience. You go there, you learn about history. They must turn that into
a broadcasting
broadcast
museum.
museum. Because
Yes,
all the things
exactly.
you've just mentioned there, I think are quite interesting. Imagine going there, but like they really they jazz it up. Okay, so the experience is old SABC, as you just mentioned there, and you see how it used to be done, what state propaganda really was. I would pay 500
Wilson
rand.
Binkosi wing and the
I would pay
and the
500
Jeremy
rand at least
Mansfield.
to go
Yeah,
and
sure. Like
be toured around that.
Make it happen. The John Burke's room or whatever. You have all these great broadcasters with their old radio voices doing their thing. It would be appropriate.
Wax puppets, whatever, or get like really bad actors who can't get the jobs. And then you have like the generation set, and you can go and watch like a fake generation
Sophie
scene.
Ndaba would have something to do again.
Put them in there, and then you can walk through. I mean, they do those tours in New York around those big sound stations.
Sure. I mean, the NBC studios, you can go and eat at the Rainbow Room on the top of the NBC building. They got the Rockettes.
But this is just
it.
it. You turn top of the SABC into a beautiful restaurant. It's how many floors? Like 30?
Yeah, you could
whatever.
You could do quite something with that.
Amazing view.
But it's no longer useful in its current state. And we certainly shouldn't be paying more tax. Already, there was a report this week which is just absolutely astonishing that 2% of the people in South Africa pay for everything. 2% of the people in this country pay for everything. All right, don't talk to me about VAT and all of that stuff because you can't avoid it. And obviously, poor people spend less money than rich people. So it all comes out in the wash anyway. Apparently, 2% of the people, the rest of you are dependent on 2% of those of us who pay income tax. So, yes, it's a completely... talk about inequality, talk about inequity. That seems to me to be the most damning kind of inequity, where I didn't ask for the responsibility, and I'm not saying me, Gareth Cliff, but I as a taxpayer didn't ask for a bunch of adult infants to have to pay for the rest of their lives. I did not make you. I do not have responsibility towards you. You cannot inveigle your way into my life, basically, and force me to pay for you to have food or to have a job or to do things or to be able to transport yourself around or have access to SABC television. There's no reason that anyone in this country should have to pay for any other adult to have to do that stuff.
No.
You do not have a right to someone else's money. And the SABC hasn't got this right. So apparently the board chairperson, someone I've never heard of before because the board chairperson changes a lot at the SABC, someone called Katutselo Ramukumba, says that relying on TV license fees is unsustainable. Well, that part they've got right, as most South Africans now consume content on phones, laptops, and streaming platforms.
Yes, everyone else, not you.
So, here's where it gets worse. He proposes a universal tech-neutral public media levy collected via SARS, similar to Germany's model to secure sustainable funding. So, you can't pay for the SABC because it's not a going concern commercially. There isn't value in their platforms anymore. So, in order to solve that problem, you just want to take more money from people. You've got a problem that is not related to other people's problems. It's an SABC problem, not a commercially viable entity anymore, because it's been mismanaged. Not that the properties there weren't once valuable. They have been in their time. They have not necessarily moved with the times, and I'm sorry for that, but where? Because why should everyone continue to pay for something that no one wants? They're going to try and collect this via normal tax. The rollout of a new funding model has been delayed until February 2026 to allow for what they call stakeholder engagement. You've heard this term before, stakeholder. No, we don't want to pay.
But people also understand, how do you add value to society?
They don't.
That was never that guy's reasoning.
No.
He's not like, shit, maybe we're not that good anymore. Maybe people don't need us. That was never in that guy's head.
Well, it's going to happen inevitably, whether this guy or the government or the people who work at the SABC like it or not. Eventually, when you're not delivering anything valuable to people, they just ignore you and you fade away, or you go into bankruptcy. And either of those is probably preferable to having the SABC in its current state. So cheers. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I mean, look, what you say, their current state, it could be resurrected. But you've got to have a will with all these things. You've got to have a will to want to do something great, to build. That will's lacking.
Let us talk about the Springboks. They have the will.
They have the will every week for us.
Thanks to you, Ben, I have become acutely aware of World Rugby and their hatred of South Africa and the fact that they are trying every trick in the book, just like the SABC are, to keep going. World Rugby are trying every trick in the book to punish South Africa for our excellence. Have we seen any improvement this week?
Yeah, interesting kind of week. So, again, I get attacked on social media, which is fine, because otherwise it's quite boring a lot of the time. But there is an absolute focus on the Springboks with these guys. So over the weekend, of course, we played Italy. 11 minutes in, straight red card. So World Rugby implemented this thing called the 20-minute red because there was such a hoo-ha about a red card ruining the contest of matches. They're like, oh, we can't have this. But if we do this, it sort of lessens the effect. So everyone's like, yeah, okay, cool. Since that's happened, South Africa can be given 3 red cards. None of them have been 20-minute red cards. They've all been straight red cards. So when any sort of foul play happens, it's like a it's like an alarm goes off. It's like, okay, it's a Springbok infringement. Therefore, let's wrap it up right here. Because how it works is that you have a bunker review system. So you get a TMO, just like you get VAR in football.
Right.
So there is a person whose only job is not to run around the field and get out of breath and have to like work on the move. This guy has screens. He's got a production booth. He's got people working with him. So he can be very clinical in what happens with this thing, okay?
Yeah.
So
Look at it from different angles.
So let's just call this person the rugby foul play assessment manager.
Sure.
So foul play happens, it needs to be assessed. Should this guy not just get the whole job, seeing as he's the foul play rugby assessment? Why is the fucking referee, who's just already run 3 kilometers, and his touch judges who hold a stick, why are they assessing this on the field of play? Doesn't make any sense, because now you've held up the play, so now we're bored for 6 minutes, 7 minutes, okay? We're sitting there going, okay, are we playing here or not? And this is what's been happening, and it's so fucking stupid. So Franco Mossa got sent off, straight red, piss off, in the showers, we hate you. It wasn't a red, it wasn't even a yellow. Joel Stransky, who was commentating at the time, this is a guy who won a World Cup in 1995. This is a guy whose entire life has been playing rugby, and he's kept watching rugby ever since. He knows what he's talking about. His words were, that will probably just be a penalty. So how is it that a guy as smart as Joel Stransky says just a penalty, and the outcome is a straight red card?
Well, this is
Massive gap of logic here.
So I think this extends beyond sport, and it's something that really annoys me. Probably annoys a lot of people. I'd love to see if you agree with me in the comments. It seems to me that there are a lot of people who are weak-willed and unimportant and want to be important, and they tell
Correct.
other people in dark rooms.
Correct.
They're, of course, the kind of people who prefer to be anonymous because they don't really want to take responsibility for what they are trying to implement. These people are the ones who issue directives about try to give South Africa more red cards, try to trim them down a little bit. They're a little bit too big for their boots. There's someone who said that. There is a person, or there are people who have clearly issued such a directive. Whether referees abide by those or not obviously depends on how much they want the job or how courageous they are. But clearly there are people implementing those directives. So we need to know who the people are who make those decisions. It's like the kind of people who make the decisions to close the highways for the G20. We need to see their faces so that we can hate them. And, I was joking with Hanan earlier about, like, you've got to have things you love and things you hate. But I do think it's appropriate. People talk about hate speech and don't hate and all this stuff. There are certain people in the world that we should hate because they're making the world cuck.
We say it all the time on the show. You've got to bring back shame. It's
Bring
a
back
very
shame and bring
important
back
part of life.
hate. I say that there are people that are worth despising. People who are ruining rugby, in this case, something that I don't particularly care about, but it seems unjustifiable to me. There are people who do things in society that make the world cucker. We should know who those people are, and we should ostracize them. You know where ostracize comes from? I discovered this the other day. You know where the term ostracize comes from?
Germans.
Oyster shells.
Ah.
They used to throw oyster shells in the ancient world at people. I think it was ancient Greece.
Nice.
So oyster,
Also
ostra.
kind of classy.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're eating your oyster, and then you throw it at some person who's displeased.
Worth
you.
ostracizing.
Yeah. But I think we should bring that back.
Well, Gareth, I think you're right. So just getting back to my point quickly about Joel Stransky, okay? So this is a guy who knows the fucking game back to front.
Yeah.
And the discrepancy between in play of him saying that's maybe a penalty and the ref saying a red card. So fast forward to this week, World Rugby's Disciplinary Hearing Committee have now rescinded the red card that Franco Mossa got. So the group in the middle here that's fucking useless, and I can only call them fucking useless because saying anything else is dishonest. Mm-hmm. So they got it so wrong that they fucked the whole matchup.
Right.
Okay. This guy got sent off, and it's a reputational thing now. Franco Mossa doesn't need to be vilified like this. Nice. Soak plays a good, hard and fair game. They are objectively hugely wrong. Not like a little bit wrong, hugely wrong. So therefore, they should be suspended. I'm sorry, you cannot ref an international match for the next 4 times you could do it. Okay, so the next 4 fixtures that come up, and you get an email saying, "Can you work the Saturday?" You don't get that email for the next 4 weeks. You're useless. You need to get better and come back.
And at very least, he should be punished to the same degree that he would have punished Franco Mossa. So if it's like, for example, I've often said, if you want to dish something out, you've got to be willing to take it. So if you're a ref who is found to be so grossly out of line, where everybody can tell that you don't know what the fuck you're doing or that you were doing it for nefarious reasons, you must be punished the same way you would have punished.
So, I mean, look, I want to make it a broader conversation because I don't need to, validate the fact that the South Africans are targeted. But the very next game, Wales versus Japan, same thing. This guy came in, put a great hit on this dude, okay? Whole crowd, that's so violent, blah, blah, blah. Firstly, rugby's a contact sport. You calm down and just watch it and appreciate it. The referee, obviously, all the hysteria of this, like the guy just committed a tackle / manslaughter. That guy gets sent off, right? So Japan then going to lose that match because they were a man short in a very crucial part of the game. Losing that match means they're no longer in the top 12 in the world. Okay, right. So they dropped down. Next year is the Nations Cup where the top 12 teams play against each other. That one decision has robbed Japan to be in the top flight of rugby. One dumb decision. Knee-jerk bullshit reaction. That's a lot. That's people's livelihoods. Right. That's a huge thing. Again, that card was rescinded by the hearing committee afterwards. So it was wrong.
Is there any repercussion for a person who is a bad ref?
No.
Does anything happen to them?
They might not get the benefit of like bigger calls from time to time with like big games. Maybe. But it's not. No, they should be shamed. They should be scored.
We'll sort out every one of these problems in rugby, in society, in politics, in the G20, all over the world. We'll sort this out if there are hardcore consequences for people who don't know what they're doing and can't do a proper job. And worse, for people who try to hide behind institutions or committees or whatever. You got to put yourself out there and you have to take the consequences. If you want an important job, like refereeing an international rugby match or like hosting the G20, then you must be willing to be held to account and take personal responsibility. And I do mean consequences will ensue.
Yeah.
Then I'm very happy for you to take it. And if you get it right, awesome, you deserve all the credit and all of the love. If you get it wrong, you get all of the punishment. That is how it should work. It's that simple. We somewhere along the way in the last 3-4 decades, we have given up on the idea of consequences for actions, which is precisely where we end up now.
Well, in that same time period, and it actually runs briefly together, we've got this notion of greater good. So we've seen it with climate change. We saw all the COVID bullshit. We see it with governments. Rugby's whole thing of greater good is that we've got to protect the player. So if you come anywhere near the head, basically, you just... But the thing is...
A lot of rugby players were dumb before rugby.
And they were fine afterwards. So the amount of people who are like shitting in nappies for the rest of their time, like in the NFL... Okay,
it's a risk you've got to be willing to take.
But it's always high... Okay, look, guys... I mean, what they're not honest enough to say is like, guys, we're happy to fuck rugby up. Again, I have to use these words because it's honest. We're happy to fuck rugby up because we need to protect people's heads 2-3 times a match. So you're going to have to deal with that. That's what World Rugby is basically saying right now. They just haven't got the balls to say it.
Is this a health and safety?
Totally.
Safetyism thing?
And World Rugby is based in health and safety stan. So therefore, they double down on this crap. And to get back to the final point I'm going to make on this, because we have to move on, is that the Springboks are always known as playing the hard physical brand of rugby, okay? So they're now the lightning rods to all this bullshit rhetoric around player safety is because we are seen as the most dangerous. But here's a final stat for you. We have the most successful low tackle rate in all of World Rugby. Our players. Our players are so well conditioned, so well drilled. Our tackle rate is the lowest in all the countries. So World Rugby... everything. You guys are messing up a wonderful game. You keep crapping on about getting new audiences and, grow the game. Stop the bullshit. Rugby's going to hurt a few people. And if we get a red card against the Irish tomorrow, no, we're not. Actually, we're not. Because now the heat's on them because they've been seen to be wrong.
Yeah, these are bureaucrats. And it seems to me like in every sphere of our lives, there are a bunch of unappointed people who get themselves into a position because they feel important, they get paid, and they're never accountable. And those are the worst people in the world. They are the absolute pits. And when you meet them, you realize like that timid, weak, pathetic people who get into a job because it gives them some illusion of safety themselves. They're all safety obsessed, right? Security obsessed. these people need to be expunged from every place where the consequences do matter.
Yeah. But also, when people tell you it's for your good, they're lying motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And they're about to do something really bad in your life and change it.
Right. Let's look at other sport.
Well,
You've got
I mean,
some-
we need to look at the Bok team for this because
Yes, of course. We've
This
got a new
this is essentially
match. Yeah.
This is essentially our last major game. We play against Wales next week, who are a second-tier nation, despite fucking Japan over. So Arceus Snyman gets his 50th test this weekend. He's going to come off the bench and he's going to do wonders, which is kind of cool because he plays his club rugby in Ireland. So to be able to have this milestone at the Aviva Stadium with a famous Bok win. I mean, like, the Boks, it'd be disrespectful to say the Irish are a bogey team because they're very, very good. And they've got a game plan and a way of playing that sort of matches our style to make close games. So they've won 4 of the last 5 times against the Boks. But they've all been very, very tight matches. And some of the games, we've missed a few kicks. Not that that's like an excuse or whatever. But we haven't won in Ireland since 2012. So major, major pressure on the guys to get this done. But also, in the last sort of year, the Irish, they beat us in Durban in that last test. I think when was it? June, July last year. But since then, they haven't really won anything. They've played the Six Nations. Obviously, France won that. Since then, the Bok have won the Rugby Championship twice. We're undoubtedly the best team in the world.
Okay.
So it's interesting to see where these two trajectories now stack up. Test match-wise, they're always very well matched because of various styles and abilities. But just how much better have the Boks been able to become? Because they've got a really big squad. They're very well tested. And the Irish are kind of holding on to their players because they just don't have the huge player pool that we do. But at the same time, they like a bit of consistency. They play all their test matches in one venue. All their players are based in Ireland. That's just how they roll. That's how they want to be. So we've got the most mouth-watering of test challenges this weekend between those two people and what they really believe in that works for them. I still reckon Boks by 10, though.
Okay.
I really do.
Well, that'd be nice.
But it's a lekker weekend because we've had all of November's been, every Saturday's been bumper rugby, right? All the test matches, all the teams are playing.
Right.
So this weekend, no exception. This is the final big test weekend. Georgia versus Japan at 2. Wales versus New Zealand. New Zealand got hammered against England last week. New Zealand aren't a great team right now. I know they're ranked second, but they just don't have the attributes that they need. So Wales will have this deluded idea that they can maybe surprise them. They won't. Wales. I don't like the Welsh anymore, to be honest with you. And then Ireland SA game, that'll be at 20-8. And then we've got Italy versus Chile at 10:10. And then France are going to be hammering Australia at 10:10 as well on Saturday. And then Sunday is probably like the other game of the weekend. England have won 10 in a row at test level. And now they think they're the best, obviously. They are playing Argentina, who is just quietly going about their business, being a bunch of badasses. So that'll be Sunday at 6 o'clock.
Like the president.
Yeah, it's a bloody exciting weekend of rugby. But what's also happened this weekend is the Ashes has started. So you know what the Ashes is, right?
Of course. That's Australia and England playing cricket.
And they've done so since forever.
And they got that ridiculous little trophy.
Yep.
Yep.
Because the old bells went into that.
Right.
So to look at the Ashes, it's cricket's greatest rivalry. It's the
Sure.
greatest tour. They play the 5 test matches in Australia. And then 2 years later, I think it is, they go back to Australia. So it's always
England.
back and forth, back and forth. England have not won in Australia since 1970. I don't think they've won a test match there since 2010.
That's half a century ago.
It's like generational. We're getting dicked here, guys.
Yeah.
So as
It's
much
like
as
where they
it's,
talk about winning the World Cup.
exactly,
Yeah, same
it's coming
thing.
home, but like 20 years, guys. It's
Get over it. It's not going to happen.
66 when they won the World Cup.
Yeah.
So
shame.
1970 is the last time they went to the Australia, and I mean the Ashes was still cooling, but it was so long ago. So I think it was Ray Illingworth's team did that. So they haven't actually won a test match there either since about 2010. So it's a very tight rivalry, but England just haven't had the balls. They haven't got it done there. The sun gets them, the beer gets them, who knows what gets them, but something gets them. And this time round, they've got a really great chance in Perth to open with a really big result.
Yeah.
Cummins, the captain's out injured. Hazelwood, the old stalwart bowler, also injured.
Stalwart.
So they've got a chance to really go do something. And they won the toss. They elected to bat. And straight away, they were 39 for 3. So they have now managed to go to 165 for 7. England, you are the gift that keeps on giving. You had to win this one in Perth to get it going. And you're 165 for 7 currently. Well, this is like a second string bowling lineup for the Aussies, and they got you there already. But hey, it's going to be the big thing for test matches because it goes all the way through the festive season now into January.
Right.
We don't have test matches over the festive season. We've got SA20. But yeah, today what also happens is we play our second test against India. So we won the first one, which is incredible. You don't really win there. And so we won all up in a two test series. Gil, the captain, still got a dodgy neck, so he's not going to play. Rabada remains to be seen if he's going to play. But yeah, test cricket all the way through the weekend. And most importantly, football is back this weekend.
All right. What do we need to know?
Well, I need to update you on Accrington Stanley. We said that they were in the FA Cup, but they'd go in like the early FA Cup, the prelims.
Accrington Stanley.
Well, they beat Gainsbury Trinity 2-1, which means
Gainsbury Trinity.
Which I think is just a church group.
Yeah, I mean, it's guys who, after working down at factory, go back to pub after pub, play a bit of
guys who hold
footy.
the lollipop sign outside of schools.
Right, those kind of guys.
He's
What's
the goalkeeper.
Holy Trinity.
Gainsborough Trinity.
Oh, right, Gainsborough.
So Accrington Stanley beat them 2-1 in the beginning, right?
Okay.
In December the 6th, the next round of the FA Cup, they have to go to... They got a home game against Mansfield Town. If they win that, then they get into the big thing where they can potentially play against the big teams like last time. But yeah, the Premier League's obviously back. International break was huge. Scotland are through to the World Cup for the first time also in about 30 years.
Sure.
Ireland, Northern Ireland, I think Bosnia, Italy, they'll go into like some playoffs now, which are going to happen in March.
Okay.
But it's an exciting time of football. But the Premier League is back, and that's the most important thing. Arsenal, of course, are on top, 26 points. Then it's Man City, Chelsea, Sunderland. And then in fifth place, we've got Spurs. Then it goes Aston Villa, Man United, Bournemouth, and Liverpool. James, Liverpool in the same amount of points as at Man United still?
Do you have to wait for Christmas for them to play properly?
More like, no. It's just not going to happen, James. It's very embarrassing. So Saturday, we're back on here. Burnley versus Chelsea, Bournemouth, West Ham. Liverpool are taking on Nottingham Forest. James, is that still a bogey team for you? Okay, easy going. And then Newcastle, Man City. But the big game for the weekend is the North London derby. Arsenal will be hosting Spurs at 6:30. Arsenal got a couple of injuries coming out of the international break, which is annoying, but they should still be too strong for Spurs. And then, Formula One, it's Las Vegas.
All right.
So Formula One is pretty much done. We all know Lando Norris is going to win. McLaren's already won the Constructors. But there's a slight dynamic around this race this time around is that, firstly, Lando doesn't do too well in Las Vegas, and it might even rain in the desert.
Oh, wow.
So if it does...
That doesn't happen often.
Fun and games. But I mean, it's kind of
done. Is it like, because it's in Vegas, a lot wilder? Because I would imagine for crowds, Vegas is also a destination.
It is, but...
in a way that Singapore, God bless it, or Monaco isn't.
It is, but then you got the time zone bullshit. In order to be a night race, because in Vegas it has to be a night race, because then you see the sphere and the strip and all that kind of shit. It means that it's a very odd time. I think it's like 3, 4 in the morning, whatever it is.
Oh, wow.
So it's not the greatest one to be a fan at because of the strange time.
In other words, they recorded at that time? That is when the race takes place?
Well, it has to be. So you look what the main markets are, obviously as Europe, that kind of thing.
Very rare that America fills in with what the rest of the world wants. It's usually the other way around.
Yeah, it's just because the major audience is in the middle of the world.
Right.
And they're on the left side of it. So as a fan spectacle, when you're in Vegas, maybe there is no such thing as time because you're on drugs or booze or whatever and you just push through. But also, it's not warm. Like, it could be really cold. And it's going to rain on top of that. It's also one of the most expensive Grand Prix to get to. The tickets are puss expensive.
Oh, really?
And but like, it's cool. It looks great on TV. All of those things. And it just means America has another race.
Do you know for a fact that there'll be more celebrities at a Las Vegas one because obviously it's closer to LA?
But it's just
I
again, it's the time thing.
Mike Tyson and his tiger standing trackside. None of that shit.
It's not as great because of the time thing. These guys don't want to be out at that sort of time.
Because they look like ghouls.
Yeah, look, it's a really cool addition.
3 in the morning's not good for anyone.
No, it's a great addition to the race schedule, and to say that it's in Vegas, great,
Sure.
but it's not one of the better races.
All right. You did mention drugs in Vegas, and I thought that this was funny. Here's a map of South Africa that someone put out this week of what kills people. And we had a similar graph earlier with the diseases and the things that actually take people out. But this is a map of South Africa, what the biggest killer in each area of South Africa is. Have you got that map for us? Yeah? Oh, okay. I thought you had it ready. That's okay. There we are. What are you most likely to die from in Limpopo, Gauteng, most of the Northwest? Murder.
Murder.
Right. No, it's not true, but it's funny. In the Northern Cape, drought, obviously.
Yeah, drought's a real killer.
In the Western Cape, drugs.
Yeah, it is. Hey. There's quite a lot of that Nyorpe stuff in Tik.
Right. In the middle of the country, the Northwest, most of the Northern Cape and the Eastern Cape, that area is boredom.
Yeah.
Apparently will kill you first.
Yeah.
And then on the east coast of South Africa, the red area is AIDS.
Eswatini is also in there with the AIDS. Yeah.
There's a lot of AIDS. And then in, I think that's it actually.
Yeah,
We've
you
done them
covered
all.
it.
Yeah, we got them all. Murder, drought, AIDS, drugs, or boredom. That's likeliest.
I mean, look, I know a lot of science
went.
went into this, but I'd love to know where the border, in say in Mpumalanga, for example, when AIDS
When do you
overtakes
cross-
murder,
yeah, when do you go from AIDS to murder?
I reckon it'd be fascinating to see how that's been done. Of when the drugs gets overtaken
Yeah,
by boredom.
yes,
It must be
that's
an
what you
interesting
need.
town to be in.
And especially at an intersection, I noticed that by the looks of this thing, Harry Smith seems to somehow escape any kind of responsibility. There's a big piece of the middle of the Eastern Cape, which obviously no one wants to live in, but that also seems to escape it. In other words, these borders are not contiguous.
Well,
right?
there is that sort of place there in the Western Cape where drought and drugs are killing you.
Oh, that's so funny.
And even out to sea, those
Yes.
fishermen are all dying of the drugs.
Yeah. I also wanted you to see something else. And this is something that's been driving me crazy on the internet for a long time. Show that picture of the super filtered photo. There seem to be a lot of there seem to be a lot of girls on the internet who are posting pictures like this where they don't even have a nose. It's just become completely it's gone. I actually knew someone who used to do this. I no longer know her, but she used to. All of her pictures looked like this, and when you met her in person, you get a bit of a fright because she had a nose.
So I can see why people do this because they want to get noticed, but you're going to get found out.
Noticed, or they want to appear more beautiful than they are.
Sure, but someone's going
You
to
got a
see
big
the
witch's
real.
nose. Big
Someone's
potato.
going to see the real you, and then either way you're going to be by yourself. So
Right.
surely honesty is the best policy.
I don't know that the people who do this give a damn. They think the rest of us honestly believe they look like that.
So talking about appearances, I posted on Instagram this week about guys exposing nipples in the gym.
Yeah, what's that all
I
about?
mean, like you go to gym more than I do, so you must see this.
I haven't seen exposed nipples for some time. There used to be there was a stage where those stringy vests were very much the thing.
what's the play here, okay? Because I've worked out for a fair amount of time.
That was what 4 years ago or whatever. I don't think it's a thing that's happening anymore.
Well, I was walking out of the gym when it was a Wednesday, wherever, and I was on my phone because I need to open the parking app because I
Right.
fancy place.
Facial recognition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as I looked up from looking at my parking app so I can validate the thing with a QR code, the first thing I saw was this man's nipple. It's like the nipple was like the eye of Sauron just at me. I was like, why is this guy exposing his nipples? Is it because he works out so vigorously that he needs so much freedom of movement? No, that's straight away I thought no, because I also need freedom of movement and I keep my nipples within
I think it's bad, but it's not as bad as those influencers that you sometimes see on Instagram who, I don't know which gym they're going to, but they have to train with no shirt on at all. Again, totally unnecessary. I think a lot of this is just attention seeking.
It
It's
is.
the same as the filter picture with the girl that I showed you just now, where you can't actually tell whether they've got facial features or not. A lot of people are in a habit of, and maybe this is a theme that we're stumbling on today, this performative crap where you have a bunch of people who really don't have much to offer. And in order to fill the time, make themselves feel important, drum up some interest and desire in other people, they are forced to do really stupid things that will embarrass them at some point. It might not at this point. But one day when you find the picture of you in the stringy vest with your man titty hanging out, you're going to be embarrassed. With the girl who's super filtered every photograph so that you can't tell where her face ends and where the background begins because it's all, maximum soft focus. And they've used those apps where you smooth and change everything. I believe there's a whole cottage industry of apps that people use to make themselves look like they don't look.
Totally. It is.
Makeup is bad enough. I have to be honest about this. I've seen very few people, and I'm talking particularly about women here. Men don't generally tend to wear makeup. I have not seen a lot of girls who put on too much makeup, as per like the 1980s, or where people were overdoing the eyeshadow and the rouge or whatever it's called,
and the hair.
And the hair was teased to within an inch of its life. Yeah. But I think that there's an element of taking something that's already good and improving it slightly, polishing it up, making it even better. But there's also a huge amount of deceit that goes into this. I mean, you see these videos, and I haven't seen one in a long time, but they used to be they proliferated all over the internet. The videos where you see like a tremendously ugly woman, and then she shows you how she puts on the makeup and does a couple of tricks, and I don't know what they call these tricks, but she turns out at the end to look totally different. It's a form of deceit, and so is filtering, and so is having to attract someone with your nipple hanging out. I can't imagine the kind of people who'd be attracted to that, but it's clearly in the same category.
Yeah, it's weird. Like in the last few, I'll always admit where I've fallen foul of certain things, and there's such a thing called newbie gains. I'm talking again, but just for guys, right? Where it's like, holy shit, how did I end up looking so good so quickly? In the first year of doing solid resistance training, weight training, you will get the most gains visually that you'll ever get. And I know it triggers a lot in your mind because I've been there. It's like, I never knew I could look like this. This is really interesting.
Sure.
Then it plateaus, and then obviously you just get over it and you realize like there's bigger things in life. But maybe that's also the whole nipple thing. It's like, it's a performative sharing thing. I get it. Yeah.
People, again, to go back to what Mash and Leigh-Ann and I were talking about earlier, there are a lot of people who are just desperate to belong. And they'll filter their photos, they'll go to gym with a stringy vest, they'll put on too much makeup. By the way, talking about the makeup thing, I saw this makeup thing's out of control, girls. Far be it for me I never talk about makeup. It's not something that interests me that much. But I've noticed there are, and Leigh-Ann works in the marketing of these things as well.
Leigh-Ann works at the marketing of marketing.
There are women who've just taken this a little too far. They're drawing on the eyelashes. They're putting it looks bizarre.
Yeah.
It looks weird. The makeup is this thick. You can't really tell when you see a person what their real human looks like anymore. I think it's wrong. I think it is a kind of...
It's fraud.
It's fraud. That's what it is. It's fake, malicious advertising. Because when you imagine waking up next to that girl, if everything goes both of your way, and you imagine her turning around and you screaming because, first of all, the makeup is smeared all over your pillowcases, and second of all, there's a hyena looking at you where you took home a princess the night before.
Hyena.
A hyena.
Wow.
Telling you, they wear that much makeup, you could turn a fucking hyena into a princess.
Well, I've been saying for everyone profile pictures, I think social media should actually have a flag next to profile picture saying this is 2 years old.
Yo, this This is the only good picture of me from my wedding when I was 20.
I mean, I'm
and
not
now
saying everything
50.
has to be a vanity exercise, but your profile picture should be your face.
That is why I prefer to post most of my pics looking natural, filters and makeup, says Judas. Okay, very good for you. Bring back gym etiquette, says Villy. I agree with Villy too. In graphic design, we call it a smart blur. That image is an unsmart blur. That picture we showed just now. Okay, I didn't know what the terminology was.
It's
but
like
cool.
when people first understand what saturation is in an image, and they overdo it completely.
Look at that.
It's like, wow, everything's like toxic bright.
Okay, so Slippery Pickle says, I can see from the sheen on your forehead that you don't use makeup, Gareth, but honestly, a little base for the camera wouldn't hurt. I've sometimes done that. It's just a pain to remember, and in the mornings, the last thing I want to think about is how I'm going to look on camera. You know, frankly, if you're coming to this show for my looks, I've got very bad news for you.
Yeah.
You're fishing in the wrong fucking pond.
No, exactly.
No one should be coming here for that. If it isn't substance, you're barking up the wrong tree.
And what people might not understand about the show as well is that you get us first thing in the fucking morning.
Warts and all.
Cannot look worse
yeah.
than what we do right now in this show.
When someone painted a portrait of Oliver Cromwell in the 1620s, he had never sat for a portrait before, and he wasn't a particularly attractive chap. And the artist said to him, Lord Protector, how would you like me to paint you? And he said, warts and all, which is why it's still a term of expression today. And if you've seen portraits of Oliver Cromwell, you'll see that he did paint him warts and all. It's not great.
Back then, people had more warts. When did we get to a stage where we had less warts?
That's an interesting discussion.
Warts and all was the same because people had warts.
They had warts.
When was the last time you saw someone with a wart?
I haven't for a long... I think we burn them off now.
Okay.
They didn't have, liquid
answers to a
nitrogen.
question. Yeah, okay.
They didn't have very, very, I suppose, safe ways of removing warts.
I mean, like in school, your teachers would still have warts.
Yes, we had a teacher with a wart.
And it was like, now if you see someone with a wart, everyone wants to run away.
In direct opposition to the makeup thing, which I think is being overdone, I am rather relieved there are less warts. Let's just say that.
See, but that's just us doing better.
All right, so here we go. There's also a couple of comments about this thing, about people wearing too much makeup, and I see some of the girls are like, I don't wear any makeup, Veronica. I wear zero makeup, nothing.
What do you look like though, Veronica? I mean, if you're blessed with a great start point, then cool for you.
Yeah, maybe. When you need a chisel to remove your makeup, you may be overdoing it a bit. Mike says, makeup on the pillows, Lord no. Carl DeSantos says, I couldn't agree more. This show is so much better when it's audio only. Dude, we've been having it. I do not need to watch shows. Every podcast I listen to. I don't watch.
I don't watch podcasts either.
Who wants to... I had to watch a video yesterday, and it was 12 minutes long. I found myself extremely frustrated by having to pay attention to the screen for that long. It's not necessary. I mean, if I'm working and I'm on a laptop, that's a different story. If I'm watching a series, that's a different story. But this is a clip that someone had sent me of a TV show, and I was like, how do people do this? If it was listening, I would have been very comfortable. Because you can do other things with your hands. You can be walking around.
There's certain shows that need the visual aspect.
Yeah.
Because they make an effort for the visual aspect. But a lot of the time, no. Because then you can do other things.
Couldn't agree more.
Multitaskers.
You're 100% on point. No matter how drunk one gets, washing off makeup before hitting a pillow is extremely important. Again, I'm not the most familiar with this, but I will say that there was a girl I knew a while ago. I had to throw away 3 pillowcases because she had left mascara on them.
Oh, no.
Now, I don't know how it feels.
How did it get to 3?
Well, because I don't know. She was just a very messy human being. Yeah. She clearly took great pleasure in leaving makeup on everything. Anyway, the point is,
if it got to 3, she was obviously great in bed, though.
Yeah,
little mascara attacks on the
side. That may have been part of it. This is something I don't think about, but maybe you can enlighten me, ladies. when you go to sleep at night, don't you want to wash your face if you've got makeup on it? I used to do TV, and I could not wait. I could not wait to get into the shower after a TV show and wash that shit off. Your skin feels terrible under there.
Yeah.
Surely it's bad for you as well. You want it off. And I don't know what mascara is like, but it must be worse, right? Because it's around your eyes. If I put on sunblock and some of it gets into my eyes, it's like a torture. I don't know how girls can do this. So again, you have my sympathy that you have to go through all of this. But surely washing that off is a priority before you go to sleep at night.
Well, I mean, in their defense, because, I try balance things on the show with you all the time. When you've stuckened,
Oh, yeah.
or you're so yucks, the only thing, or you're so yucks, the only thing you want to do is just get into bed. So there's a caveat to that argument.
All right, a couple of other things here from Carl. He says, correct, porn is the opposite. That's when I go mute and it's visuals only. It's all about the context. So talking about audio versus video.
You're a real gente, Carl.
Yeah, you're such a class act. Speaking of makeup, the Markle could have done with a bit on the last shoot for Harper's Bazaar. Eek, someone there does not like her very much, says Tracy. I don't know why anyone's still talking about Meghan Markle. I don't know why anyone on earth cares. Clearly, everyone in America hates her. They don't want anything to do with her.
But it's a bit like the SABC. It's that everyone else is doing their job now. Because there's more interesting people. And the thing is, she's always been oscillating between celebrity and car crash.
Yes.
And you've got to be one of the two if you want to be really popular. So she's a car crash who's just trying hard. So therefore, that's not that interesting.
Washing that crap off, now we're talking about makeup, at the end of the day is so important. It also just feels good. Was die gemors af, dames. Okay, great. A good diet and staying hydrated also helps with good skin. Well, thank you for that, Veronica.
True.
Very good. We don't mind a bit of good advice here on the show. Yesterday's mascara, tomorrow's eyeliner. That was some girl's mantra in the 90s. Yesterday's mascara. Oh, as in you just keep it on.
Yeah, and then it smudges in, and then you
right, okay.
And then it's on your eyes.
Makeup on my pillows again. People complaining. Couldn't agree more. The show is so much better. We've been through some of these. Where's Andrew the nonce? Okay, so I know we have covered this in last week's show, but apparently, so Fergie, you were asking about Fergie.
Yeah, always.
Fergie is not going to go and glom onto Andrew in Sandringham. She is going. This is Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York. Well, no longer. She's just Sarah Ferguson now, as he's just Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. She's going to live with her daughter Eugenie and the poor husband in Portugal.
Oh, that poor guy.
Imagine him. He thought, got a fucking princess. I've done okay, right? And Eugenie's, she seems like a very sweet girl. Anyway, he didn't expect the mother-in-law to arrive and go, hello, girls. Hello, what's your name again? The husband of my daughter. I'm coming here to stay with you. Have you got some food in the kitchen? She's going to eat them out of house and home. She's going to spread all her shit through the house. You can imagine what Fergie's like.
Well, at least the wine's relatively cheap in Portugal.
Well, good luck to them. What a horrible thing. Your mother-in-law she cannot, could she not have squirreled away some of that money to buy herself a house and not be a burden on her children? Very selfish.
Oh, man.
Yeah, if you're a parent and you burden your children with that kind of thing, I think that's very unkind, very thoughtless of you. Granny needs something to follow. Enter Meghan Markle, says Mike. Do you think grannies are particularly interested in Meghan Markle?
Or maybe she's a digestible scandal.
I don't know.
Maybe she's like an easy scandal to get behind.
I don't know. I do think Monica makes a good point here. She says, clever women know how to enhance their features without everyday makeup.
Or just being less obvious. Like going back to the filter picture, right? It's very obvious what you're trying to do there. You're trying to hide everything.
But just put that filter
Get
picture
that
back on.
back up here.
Just look at this, because I want Gilli to see this as well.
It's not an intelligent way of presenting.
That's so stunning, so brave. I love that. That's
it's like a child. It's like a childlike attempt of beautifying yourself. If you were smart, you would find certain features and enhance them. No, I'm going to go with Mattel's new cheap Barbie as my look.
Okay, very good. All right, Ben, have a good weekend. Anything exciting happening?
Big golf tomorrow.
Oh,
We've got,
you're playing big golf.
Yeah, our golf school's making an effort, so it'll be a
What
lot
does
of
that
us.
mean? Making an effort.
Well, a lot of guys have fallen
Prawn
away.
bry.
Prawn bry. No, just more beers at the club. No, we're gonna just have a lot of beers at the club, and then we're gonna watch rugby together afterwards.
Oh, okay, very
so
good.
we're gonna get.
So in other words,
boy
like
Saturday.
other golf.
It's like a proper boy Saturday.
Okay, very good.
exciting.
Very nice.
Must say
How's
that-
the game at the moment in terms of your golf game? You've been playing a little bit more than usual.
I'm working on speed at the moment, so it's a bit of a in-between place.
It's not that I would know what to do with this information.
Well,
having
it's just
no
that-
idea of how golf works, but
I
do find it interesting. Is golf one of those things where you do get better the more that you play?
No, absolutely. But you go through phases, right? And when I play golf, a lot of it's through content creation as well. So I don't play rounds. I'm not playing competitive rounds against people. I'm often playing with guys who are very shit, and that's not good for your game. Or I'm playing because I want to film a particular hole or do something. So I could be much better. I would like to be much better, but I can still hit the crap out of it. I still enjoy it more than ever.
All right.
Yeah, it's just
Very good.
Happy times, Gareth. And now it's summer.
Excellent. Yes, I am excited about the summer. I'm blown away that we've only got. I think it's a month to Christmas today, right? Yeah, just about.
21st of
Just
November.
just about a month to Christmas, and
A month left of work.
well, people are going to stop. I looked at the calendar, and the 12th of December is a Friday. Forget trying to get anything done unless you work in, events, entertainment, that kind of thing. Forget trying to get anything done after that. If you're in corporate South Africa, it's just not going to happen.
Also fine.
Of course it is. We need a break.
Yeah.
End of the year. Sure, I've got it. I'm ready for it. I'm excited about it, in fact. You have a good weekend, Ben. We will
Thanks,
see you
Gareth,
next
and
week.
to you too, yeah.
No, thanks. Oh, that's cheers. That's
I've
very
got to say
nice.
that this couch, this gender-based
prefer it?
wireless couch, it's easier to sit and talk in. It's not more comfortable, but I feel like it's.
What are we going to do,
improvement.
James?
Well, we don't own the couch, so that's
Okay, so
So
it's
guys,
going
no,
back.
I'm giving you a compliment. I'm saying it's better.
All right, so you know what we'll do? We'll come up with a third option for you for next week.
Maybe a little bit of extra sort of lumbar support.
We'll see if Gilli likes it. We'll see what she thinks of it as well. All right. Last time, look at how Ben has to scoot that way. So embarrassing. Like a dog who drags its ass because it's got worms. It was. All right. So we've got the thumbs down from James on the sofa. We got the thumbs up from Ben compared to that other shit one. And now we're going to get. Now we'll get the official opinion of Gilli. How are you, sweetheart? Shit, you look great. What have you been up to? You've been in Europe
I've seen you since before 2020 in real life.
How's
Do you
it?
know that? Ha.
since before 2020 in
Yes.
real life. I mean, we've seen each other online
Yes.
a couple of
But
times.
never
In fact,
in real life.
yeah. Well, that's ridiculous.
You don't look a day older than COVID.
Did you plan that on the way here? You've been thinking about that one the whole time.
You know what? It actually just came to me right now.
How are you? Because you
Good.
came up in hallowed terms when I had Nina in here the other day. She loves you. You guys
Yeah.
are like proper friends.
Yeah, no, we love each other.
Oh,
We love
give each other like proper
Yeah,
feedback.
we
as
really
well,
support each other.
Yeah.
We are very honest. Sometimes
Everybody needs that person.
Yeah, but sometimes we go very hard on each other. Like I will get off stage and Nina will say something like this to me. She'll be like, "What are you doing with your hand? Why are you doing that thing?" As I've come off stage, "Why are you doing that thing with your hand?
Not that was great.
Stop doing
Yeah.
that thing." No, she knows we have a base. I know she's great. She knows I'm great. We put that
Okay,
stuff aside.
good.
Why are you doing that thing with your hand? Stop
Because
it.
most girls don't get past that.
No, but this is not. This
I've
is
got
like
to keep reminding her that I'm actually her friend by saying nice things. You know
but
what
we
I mean?
do across time.
No, I get
You know,
that.
not in the
but you are
moment, yeah.
different, the two of you.
No, we're very different. We're like polar
Right.
opposites. Yeah.
No, I don't mean different to each other even,
Oh.
but different generally to the rest of humanity
Yeah,
because,
I suppose.
I mean, you have to be a
Yeah.
comedian. We don't have to get into that
Yeah.
immediately,
Yeah.
but it's nice that you have that dynamic, right?
Yeah, it's very cool. It's actually very cool. And we've both discovered the hard way that you can't give other people feedback like that. Because we've tried.
People do not
Because
respond
I will go,
well.
Nina
hey?
will be like, "Listen, you can't do that with your hands." And then the next person she'll say that to is like an auntie, and that will not go down well. Like, I asked somebody, like last week, a friend of mine in the UK, I was like, "May I give you some feedback about your Instagram?" Because I had some ideas, like simple ideas that I thought could improve his social media feed. And he just said, "No.
Because he knows what kind of feedback
I
you
don't
give.
know. I think he just was like not interested in getting the feedback. And I'm like, how can you turn down feedback? That's
So
crazy.
we were talking about this morning on the show. I'd love your take on it. These euphemistic words that people have to use on certain platforms because otherwise you get. I wouldn't say they block you, but they throttle your views or whatever. You can't say the word suicide because you have to say unalived himself. Or
Yes.
There's pew pew for gun. There's corn for porn.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah,
But
what
that's not a word.
segs? S-E-G-G.
Yes. I've seen a lot of comics.
Like, why do we do this? Why are we pretending? And it goes back to the feedback thing where you and Nina are so open with each other about this stuff and most people can't handle it. It's like we used to be adults.
Yeah.
It's like we've infantilized adult behavior to the point now where we're treating everyone with kid gloves.
I read a book about this. It's called The Coddling of the American Mind.
Oh, this is who wrote that book?
The same guy who wrote you're asking a 43-year-old perimenopausal woman to remember names. This is not a problem.
No, I know who you mean.
Jonathan Haidt and another guy.
Yeah.
And
right.
And The Coddling of the American Mind really, really writes in great detail about how we arrived at a point of something called safetyism.
Yeah.
Where everything is about people believe that safety, you can't be, like, some words make you unsafe. And that's just not the case.
I think maybe, and I'm certainly not casting aspersions on a day where they're going to
aspersions.
On a day where they're going to be many South African women legitimately protesting a major social ill in terms of the abuse of women, sexual violence, gender-based violence, as we call it in this country. That's a real problem. I don't want to look for trouble with those people on a day where they've got enough trouble to deal with.
Yeah.
But I wonder if the safetyism isn't also as a result of just more women being involved in politics, in society, in business, in decision making, because women tend to have more risk aversion than men.
Yes.
And again, I
For
don't
good
think
reason.
you are guilty of this, but certainly doing what you do for a living is a risky business.
Sure.
You have to get up there and be judged on your merits every time you go up.
Yes.
But the majority of women in the world are motivated by safety, security, which is a normal thing. It's a instinctive
Yes.
female behavior in almost all animals. You protect, you look after, you conserve, you care, you nurture.
Yes.
Whereas men are the lunatics who will build rockets and go to war.
I've often hear men talking about this in a way that so regular. To a degree, I agree with you.
I mean,
to a degree.
I'm not looking for an argument. I'm not saying there's an answer.
No, not at all in the sense of an argument. It's just faceted because often, and you're not like that. Look, you understand the whole, all the facets of the argument. But some men I have seen, especially online, I saw this recently this week, talking about how they believe that, for example, women are like mostly driving like woke causes. Like the concept of wokeness is driven often by women, and it's said often just completely ignoring the base reason for that, which is that women tend to be the more oppressed. So there's a very practical reason why women are begging and like asking for safety, especially on a day like today, right?
Yeah.
That thing is not coming from something unfounded.
The safetyism thing.
But that actually comes from American student culture
and
universities.
helicopter parenting and all that
too.
shit, right?
So a lot of stuff that like problems almost like that you no longer have to deal with in life, right? Because as from a young age, you're already being protected from bullying, from all kinds of things.
This developed because people think this is too violent. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? This is the kind of stupidity that we're
Clicking
talking
instead
about.
of clapping.
Yeah.
I mean, I do find a clap a little bit
You like
frightening
a clap.
sometimes.
That's where when you're on the stage,
Yeah, but
you
sometimes
love
like too hard, just relax.
Oh,
Pull it back a little bit. No, never.
Do you have over-enthusiastic people?
No, I will say sometimes you see the people I'm scared of in the audience, and I mean this, scared. There are two types of people I'm scared of in an audience. A woman who's too drunk and a man who isn't laughing at all. He's just staring at me. And you get a lot of those. You get these men who are just like staring.
Seething.
They don't even know what they're angry about. But they're
Psychopath.
so angry. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to watch when you go get off that stage. That guy isn't.
I know. I asked the guy recently if he has any weapons on him. Which I don't
Last
know
time
if
we
it was the right
spoke,
call.
you'd been to, you were doing Luxembourg, you were doing Estonia, Finland. You were all over the place. Are there
Yes.
any
I
new,
do. I like
new
to
things
go
you can
to,
add?
you know what it is? Estonia, Finland, Switzerland. I like to travel across the European autism spectrum to really,
How
test my
how are
comedy
the
skills.
Eastern? And like I've always thought that the further east you go, the less a sense of humor is required.
So I'll tell you this.
Mostly
in every
because those
show
people
that
have
I do,
suffered. It's cold.
Yes.
They make their own vodka.
there's this thing about like Russians. If you smile, they think you're an idiot.
Yes.
And I can't. There's a part of me that like so gets that,
Right.
And I have to tell you, I've been in so many countries. I do so many cities, everywhere from what I call happy Europe, Spain, Portugal, Greece,
Right.
to sad Europe, which is, further east.
Poland.
Yeah. Okay. And
Lithuania.
yes. Now, at my shows, in all the shows the audiences are comprised of expats. And I don't mean English-speaking expats. I mean expats from all over Europe.
Oh, right.
For some reason, that is who attends my shows. And I can tell you the one demographic that attends my shows more than anyone else is Eastern European women. I'm
Really?
talking, yes, Russian, Ukrainian, Polish, Lithuanian,
it's so
Romanian.
funny you bring this up.
They all
because
come to the shows.
I started following an account called Slavic Girls something, or not. It's not what you think it is. It's these two chicks
us more.
who wear like they wear those red tracksuits with the line.
Oh, yes.
And they have like
Oh,
a
like-
Russian hat.
I know what you're talking
and they
about.
go, we are Eastern European women. We never smile. We don't think you are funny.
And they give those reactions
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah. And I love it. It's hilarious. They followed me back.
Oh, nice.
But the cool thing about this is that when I was in Bulgaria, of all places, last year, it was a running gag to kind of stereotype those Eastern European women.
Yes.
Because they do seem to have the least amount of emotion. If we're going to say women are safety and nurturing and all that
Yes.
shit, that's the stereotype.
Yes.
These chicks break that stereotype.
So they come
right?
to my shows, and I know they come to my shows. One of the reason I know is because they always come up to me afterwards to tell me like where they're from, and they want to talk and say how
yeah?
much they love the show. They're like enthusiastic about the show,
Wow.
They love coming
That's
to comedy.
You must
And
have found the only thing
I
Eastern
swear-
European women are enthusiastic
and they love
about.
comedy, okay? And they seek it out. But then I thought, you know what? Like, I'm going to go to them. Moses will come to the mountain.
Right.
Okay. So I booked a show in Riga, Latvia. Okay.
How awesome.
Now, the show sold out. So I was like, okay, these people are very enthusiastic. And then I do the show, and Gareth, they are just not laughing. They are not, an entire audience are just staring at me. There's a few people laughing. I know they are absolutely not from there. They're like Americans or something. No one is laughing. And I'm trying to understand why. I'm doing the same show I do everywhere else. I'm trying to engage with them, not laughing. Okay, now it's very rare that an audience that sells out a show then doesn't laugh. Like it is quite rare. So at some point, I ask a woman in the front row a question, and I say to her, so just because I'd asked her something before and I was following up, and I said to her, so are you married or are you single? And she said, yes. And then I realized,
She didn't
oh,
understand.
they don't understand a word of what I'm saying.
So why do they go?
Because I realized in that moment that they think they understand English so much better than they do. And then they come and they're like, and believe me, all I do is speak to non-English speaking audiences, but these people really didn't understand what I was saying. They were so eager to come and just didn't understand
Shame
a word.
that part of the world has been severely put upon. I mean, Poland, Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, their history is not a pleasant one,
No.
If they're not being attacked by the Germans, they're being attacked by the Russians.
Yeah.
They've just had hell in a handbasket for like 1,000 years. So if they don't
Yeah.
speak English or understand it as well, and they're prepared to still pay the
They
ticket
bought
price.
the tickets.
What a win.
People are like, come back. No.
So, all right, the other thing I needed to ask you about, because you're the best person to talk about this, is AI and comedy. I heard a comedian the other day saying comedy is probably one of the places that you are least likely to be affected, or you'll be right at the end of AI's master plan to destroy the human race, because AI isn't funny. It really isn't. I've never... the kind of people who would type in, give me a joke about, because I have
Yes.
to make the best man speech at some cuck wedding this weekend. The kind of people who will put in stuff to AI that will
Yes.
make it are all going to be low function, not funny, zero
Yeah,
sense
maybe.
of humor people. And AI needs to train on stuff. And
Yes.
how do you know what AI finds funny? Well, because people react to it. So no one's going to AI for comedy, so it's not getting the training wheels.
Gareth, at first I have to tell you, I tried to use AI to write some jokes. I made it
Terrible,
write
right?
me some jokes, and I read them to the audience,
And they cuck.
and they're terrible. But then, as the AI gave me the joke, I was about to write a better prompt, and I was like, "No, I'm not training you, bitch.
Exactly. Right. So it's not going to get the training because
I'm not going to replace myself."
really funny people are not inputting stuff into AI. It
But I will
it doesn't
say-
know why we laugh at a joke. It's
No, but I will
algorithms.
say that it operates very well. I've got a friend who, when they're writing a new joke, they will say to AI, "This is the premise. Give me 10 ideas for punchlines." And then it will give you 10 ideas for punchlines. And then you can take, it's almost like a sparring partner. You can take that and it's a good ideas generator.
Okay.
But it won't write a good joke of its own. But Gareth, I will tell you, there are comedians who write worse jokes than the ones I've read on ChatGPT. So I am worried for our future because those comedians are successful
Damn, I
and have
thought
an
you
audience.
guys were the only ones who were safe.
No, there are some comedians
Shit.
who could today be replaced by ChatGPT. In my opinion.
For all we know, there are comedians who are probably using various large language models to come up with stuff because they've just run out of ideas already.
Yeah, listen, I went to a show the other night and I just thought, this is not good. This could be written by ChatGPT.
I haven't written anything, and I don't write comedy, but I haven't written an opinion piece or any of that stuff since probably the advent of ChatGPT. And I don't see the point. If I have something insightful and useful to say, I'm certainly not going to put it on the internet anymore.
Yes.
I'll keep it for the show.
Yes.
Or a conversation with people I know.
Right.
I don't see the value in writing that kind of stuff anymore because really all you're doing is you're now giving up your copyright and your ideas, and you're just letting the internet have them.
So, I'll tell you, I wrote a talk recently, and it was about how to make a living as an artist. Okay, I was invited to do this talk.
Tough fucking talk.
Well, they asked me because the people who organized the talk, the point of it was SA Future Trust. They really focus on youth entrepreneurship,
Right.
and the person who's one of the organizers really loves the way that I am doing my work, like my business model, basically for how I am performing in the world.
Totally unique.
It's quite unique, yeah. And so he wanted me to talk about that, and so what ended up happening is I made the talk how to make a living as an artist because I think it's powerful and I think it's helpful for a lot of young people. But it was too long, and I at some point thought, if I put this into ChatGPT and ask it to condense it, that will be helpful. But then I was like, I don't want to give this content.
Right.
Is that? And I was
Yeah.
like, does it matter? Does it matter anymore? It's got so much content. Does it matter? And I just thought, I don't want this, like almost this, the thing specifically that I am talking about and my business model to be so readily available.
Yeah, I'm torn. I mean, I often think that with all the stuff that you and certainly I've done online, like this show, our image, our voice,
Yeah.
probably already being,
Yeah.
used in some, I don't know, probably somebody's creating these training things that will eventually be able to say things that Gilli would have said. No one
Yeah.
will be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't really fight it.
No,
And
you can't.
frankly, I'm not too precious about being original.
Yes.
I do think that in your line of work, original does have tremendous power.
But I do think
Think about what happens to a comedian if everyone discovers that they're stealing other people's jokes.
Yes.
It ruins them.
Yeah.
Right? They very seldom recover from that.
But I think things are changing. I think you can steal jokes. I steal jokes all the time now. Scott Bazette, no, Nina Hasty. Who cares? Just take all their stuff.
Is there a bargain bin of play? Sort of some place you go to steal?
No, you know what? I
people's
take all their jokes and I do them in Europe. Nobody knows. I mean, how are they going to stop me? Good luck, guys.
And you're talking to Latvians who don't speak
Exactly,
English.
Latvians, they don't even understand. Listen, it doesn't matter. No, but to be honest, I will tell you, do you know I have been replaced by AI in an area where I'm so pleased to be replaced.
What?
My parents, my entire life, because my parents are immigrants, English was their second language. So I've always had to write all of
Where
their...
are they from?
Israel.
Okay,
Right?
not Lithuania.
No,
like
they're
so
Israeli.
many Ashkenazi Jews in South Africa
Yes.
actually have Lithuanian ancestors.
Yes,
right?
I'm the exception in terms of
Israel.
the fact that my parents are Israeli. They're immigrants from many years ago.
Yes.
They came before I was born. So the point is, I've had immigrant parents my entire life. And so my entire life, I have been writing all of their emails and fixing their texts and all that stuff. And,
You're a good
and
daughter,
recently,
huh?
and recently,
What a dutiful daughter, though.
no, but it's the least I can do for like them. They're
Raising
great
you, yeah,
parents.
sure.
No, they're great parents.
Sure.
If they were cuck parents, maybe I wouldn't do it. For
Sure.
them. But they're great people. And so I was always writing. My dad sits me down. He'll like a secretary, like a 50s secretary. He will dictate like whole letters to me. I promise you, like a 50s secretary. And what's so annoying is he will correct my grammar. I'm like, I am a proper English speaking person, and you think you can. Anyway, the point is, about a year ago, I started realizing they've stopped asking me to help them. And I didn't understand why at first. And then one day, my mom sent me a text that she sent to somebody else because she wanted me not to check it, but it was a personal thing. She was like, look at the text I wrote her. And I read this text and I said to my mom, I'm like, how did you write this? This is unbelievable. And she was like, ChatGPT.
Oh,
And
wow.
she's so pleased with herself. And so now they're using that to write all of this stuff. And now the thing I actually sometimes have to correct is I have to make their language a bit worse to make it sound like them.
Real. Yeah, I do think that we're going to reach a point, though, where, because I can tell already if someone's email is composed by ChatGPT.
Yes.
You
It's so true.
I mean, there was this funny thing I showed on the show I think it was 2 weeks ago, it was last week. This guy had broken up with a girl, and he'd obviously put into ChatGPT, how do I do this in a nice way? But he left the prompt in when
brilliant.
he pasted it into the
Brilliant.
message. So people are stupid, but even if you try to hide it, I do think
Things are
that,
there. Yeah.
Well, the law of averages is going to kick in, right? So it's not going to remove truly brilliant thought and originality and creativity and humor. It can't take those things away and subsume them.
Yes.
I think those things will always be a human
And
endeavor.
know how to use them in the context.
Sure.
Yeah.
What it will do is it'll bring some of the very stupid people up a little bit,
Yeah.
at least performatively. It'll bring some of the very clever people down a bit.
Yes.
In other words, make them average.
But also-
the ones who are the midwits. They
Don't even think about stupidity. Like, also imagine you're a person who's very smart but cannot speak a language.
Sure.
That really elevates your operation.
Of course.
you
Now
know?
suddenly you have a tool which is tremendously useful.
Yeah.
So I'm not one of those people who's totally against it or totally for it. I think it'll find its medium like every other industry does. I worry a little bit about some jobs that I think will be lost. I worry about some people feeling as if the economy won't be relevant for them anymore. But, we're pretty adaptive creatures. We'll find new things to do.
I agree. I'm a pretty positive person, but the truth is, it's so unknown.
And
This
when,
is one of these things where we just kind of have to
Gilli,
watch.
what are you going to do? You're going to switch it off? You can't switch it off,
Switch it off.
right? It's going to happen anyway.
Just going to have to watch this train wreck.
But I maintain that like comedians will be at the end of the
Let's
target.
hope, Gareth. Let's hope, because I want to, do this job until I'm very old.
You can though. That's
Yeah.
another cool thing about
Yeah.
what you do, and you'll get better and better, right?
My friend said to me, I have this friend who lives. This is, you've got people who are like a little bit like out of touch with the world
Yes.
because they move to places like I don't know, Hout Bay.
Yeah, there are a lot of people
And I
in
had
Cape
this
Town.
conversation with it was like an old high school friend I hadn't seen in a long time, and she said to me, "So, like, I mean, you're not planning on doing this like into your into your 50s, right? Like, what are you going to do?" And I was like, "Why would I not do that? What?"
So I spoke to Dr. Hanan a little bit earlier
yes.
about this.
It's my doctor too.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay, he's terrific.
Yeah.
You'll probably agree then with what he said. I asked the question about whether it's always necessary to reinvent the wheel. Don't fix if it
Hmm.
isn't broken. If you are on a good wicket and you're playing beautifully and you deliver a product that people enjoy, don't mess with that.
Yeah.
I didn't need to hear John Lennon solo or Paul McCartney and Wings. No one has ever gone, that Paul McCartney and Wings. Thank fuck the Beatles broke up because we wouldn't have had the frog song if Paul had stayed with John and the rest of the band. I don't
Neither the frog
think.
song.
Listen, I'm not saying you don't have to change. Everybody's perfectly capable of changing anytime they want. That's the nice thing about being a free-thinking human.
Yeah.
And you should. a lot of people are very obsessed with this idea of reinventing themselves, doing something completely new every couple of years. It's unnecessary.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think, look, as an artist, you have to go where you are called.
Yeah.
And if you're called by a new creative impulse, you follow it. And even if that thing fails, you have all the skills and the tools that you had before. You can keep doing whatever the hell you want, but you have to follow an artistic impulse if you're a true artist.
Even if it takes you to Riga.
Even if it takes you to Riga, you know, you got to follow that impulse.
Well, I think what you've done is, and you mentioned briefly a second ago your business model and this talk that you gave to these people. But I do think it's worth just exploring this for people who don't know, because the last time I spoke to you, it sounded like the most incredible life, the most fun life, the most exciting life, the most stimulating, because you're going to all these very bizarre places. You told us about, I think it was Liechtenstein or something?
No. Luxembourg?
There's some other place that you mentioned that I'd never heard of before.
Maybe somewhere in Norway?
Possibly. Tell me about these places, though.
Stavanger in Norway?
See that?
Yeah.
I heard about the Hurtigruten the
What
other
is
day.
that?
It's a boat that fucking Norwegians get on that takes them up the fjords and all along
Okay, so let me tell you
coast
something amazing that I did recently. Because I will tell you this. You talk about this life that's exciting. People always say to me like, oh, it's so wonderful. You get to travel. And I just want you to understand, I don't travel. I commute. There's
Okay.
a big difference, okay? I get up on a Wednesday or Thursday morning. I get on a flight to somewhere. It's usually a country. I've now gotten clever and made sure that I try to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday in the same country. So different cities in the same country.
Cool.
So that I can take a train from one place to the next and not have to fly around too much. But it's a lot of, imagine like you flying and on buses and trains just every week. Actually, I don't even really, comedy is like what I do on the side. What I really do is commute. Yeah. I get on buses and trains and
Look,
planes.
at least in Europe, you've got reasonably...
No, it's great. And some are better than others, and people don't realize this, right? For example, because when you come from South Africa, you think that everywhere in the first world is going to be so impressive.
Yeah.
And it very often just isn't. And also, you adapt so quickly, and you become entitled so quickly. I went from being grateful to entitled very quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, like 6 months to a year, I went from grateful to entitled. And now I'm basically like a judgmental Swiss person everywhere I go, because you arrive in London and you think London is the center of the world. It's a first world country, and you are tapping your phone to get onto a train and you think this is so advanced. And you hear British people complaining about the transport all the time. I'm like, you people are crazy. This train brought me from this place to this place. I'm 100 meters from my house. How can most of the time the train gets there. I'm like, what are you guys complaining about? And then I went to the real first world, Switzerland, Norway, Denmark.
Yeah.
And I understood that Swiss people are comparing themselves British people are comparing themselves to Switzerland and Norway. They are not comparing themselves to Africa.
Right.
Okay? And firstly, I just want to say as a life lesson, always compare yourselves to Africa, because you will be so grateful all the time, right? Wherever you
That's
travel.
right.
And if you can hold
and
on to that gratitude.
is a better place to be than
it's a
entitlement.
much better place to be than entitlement.
Sure.
But I will tell you, for example, my goal in life on a weekly basis when I am commuting is this. I don't want to spend too much time anywhere. I don't want to waste too much time anywhere, like in an airport. I don't want to spend hours in an airport.
Yes.
And I don't want to feel rushed. Okay?
Love both of those,
So
yes.
my goal is that my heart rate must never rise from the second I leave my flat to the second my butt is on a plane
So
seat.
clever.
Okay?
You're going to live to 120.
Yes, so I want to keep things even. I don't want to ever feel like I'm stressed or sweating
Yes,
on my way.
good.
And I also don't want to be waiting for hours anyway, because it's a waste of my life.
Yes,
right?
I hate that.
So this is a very fine balance that I have had to craft, and it's impossible because there are so many variables, Gareth. There are so many different airports. There are so many different traffic systems. There are so many but you start to learn things, right? You learn things you didn't expect. For example, you can rely on Swiss transport, but you cannot rely on German transport.
Oh, this will
Who
be
knew?
surprising to people.
German trains are an absolute disaster. They often don't arrive. They often get cancelled. And everybody in Europe knows this. But you, as an outsider, do not know this until you arrive and there's no train that you booked. Spanish trains, very reliable.
Really?
Who knew? Yes. Now, recently, I took one of the most amazing commutes I've ever taken. I was traveling from a place called Stavanger to a place called Bergen in Norway, right?
Bergen's the
Now-
second biggest city in Norway.
Yeah, but these are cities I didn't even ever hear of before I went to them,
Sure.
just so you know. And I decided that I was going to take a bus, okay? Because a combination of ChatGPT and Googling, I was like, how am I going to get from one city to another? And I thought, flight, okay, there's a half-hour flight, it's very quick. But then I'm always looking for ways to travel on the ground. It's much less stressful than getting to an airport.
Agreed.
So I saw there's this bus ride, 5-hour bus ride from one city to another, right? 5-hour bus ride is the same as a half-hour flight in the terms of how long it takes you to get to an airport on either side, okay? You end up leaving and arriving at the same time. So I see this bus. Now I look at the map. Now we don't have to do this in South Africa. We've got flat land everywhere.
Yes.
I look at the bus route and all I see is water. And I'm like, how is the bus going to get through all this water? It's fjords. Do you know what I mean? We are traveling through little islands of land and little islands of water. And I'm like, how is this bus going to get to the destination? And I thought, this is not my problem to figure out how the bus is going to get there. ChatGPT says it's a reliable route and it's very scenic. I'm going to go. I get on this bus. In this 4 or 5 hour trip, tunnels, bridges,
Yes.
2 ferries. The bus gets on a ferry. You get off the bus inside the ferry. You go upstairs to the coffee shop on the ferry, have a little coffee, watch all this gorgeous Norwegian scenery. You get back on the bus. It carries on. There is no delay. Every road is efficient. You've never seen a pothole. In all that water, you've never seen a pothole.
And there are big mountains and there are deep fjords and they build these incredible, I mean, Norway almost builds bridges because they're bored.
100%.
They don't need half
They are
those
so
bridges.
beautiful, and I can't tell
One
you.
car every 6 months on some of them, but it all is immaculate.
Immaculate. No delay, nothing. Arrive at your destination at exactly the time it says you're going to arrive with all
It's
of those different
civilization.
variables.
This is like apex civilization.
No, it's extreme. It's
People
very
tell me
extreme.
the same is true for South Korea and for Japan.
Yes.
People often mention Switzerland. I love the idea of places like that, but it also, and I don't know whether this is your experience of it, I haven't been to Norway, but when they work really well, people look for reasons to find fault.
Yes.
Here, it's like the Wild West. You know, you're thrilled if you open the tap and fucking an explosion doesn't happen.
I saw
You're
so
excited,
much
right?
crazy shit. Like the first day you arrive, it's back in South Africa after you've been to all these countries. It's like, it doesn't matter how long you've lived here. You're like, whoa. Like this morning on my way here, Joburg, driving in Joburg should be like a video game.
Yes, it is.
You know, you have to avoid a pothole. You have to make sure
It's
you don't get
Grand
stuck
Theft
behind
Auto. They probably
you
came up
don't
with
get
it
stuck
here.
behind a taxi, but can
Yeah.
you go into the other lane? Is there another lane? Can you create another lane? It's like, it's so,
Why is my tire going?
that's very thrilling.
All right, so I like a little bit of the order and the sophistication and the quiet and the people who know how to behave themselves.
Yes.
But I think if you're in that and you were born and you've lived here for a long time, it kind of gets a bit sterile.
Very. I can tell you one thing that is, it doesn't matter, you go all over the world. I live in London. People in London don't look at you. They will walk direct. I'm talking in a very small space. They will come into a lift and keep their eyes looking down. And I cannot tell you, I arrived back at Joburg this week and I go to my coffee shop that I've been going to like for 10 years. The manager comes to me, she gives me a hug, she asks me how my mom is. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I can't even tell you what that does for your soul that you're not even realizing that it's doing
That's
to your soul.
beautiful.
It's beautiful.
We do a number of things badly in this country. One of the things that we have a tendency to do is we judge ourselves by almost like the Londoners compare themselves to Switzerland or
Yes.
Norway, where actually they've got it quite good.
Yes.
Like, I think if we had to go to the Democratic Republic of Congo, we'd stop moaning about ESCOM, for example,
Yes.
right? But I think one of the big problems we have when we look at countries that are better than us,
Yes.
is we tend to think that we're so far behind and we're such Cro-Magnon men and we haven't discovered fire and all of
Yes.
these. We're like, we think the very worst of ourselves. And then we're blown away when other people are impressed by stuff that we just handle.
And I can tell you, there are so many things when I went to the UK that I was like, for example, one time, one of the first gigs I ever did in London, somebody paid me with a check.
We haven't used those in ages
And I
in
was
this
like-
country. Yeah.
We are so much more advanced here. I haven't seen a check since my mother pulled one out of her handbag in like the 90s,
I haven't
the early
been
90s.
to the bank
Exactly.
since varsity
I had
because
to go to a bank.
Yeah.
And they didn't know how to cash the check. Okay,
Who
But
was this person?
there were so many.
Was it an old man from the 1800s?
It was an old man from the 1800s. They're still alive in
He had
London.
a fob watch.
I swear.
And a monocle.
Yes, I don't. Maybe it wasn't real. Maybe I imagined it. Eventually, there was a point at which I thought, I'm just not going to have this money. I don't know. There's too much effort. Eventually, I had to mail I had to go to a post office and mail the check to the bank.
No.
Yes. So I can tell you there are a lot of things in South Africa that we take for granted that are actually much more advanced than they are in places like London.
Are you here for the G20 and are you very excited about it?
I'm
Because
very excited for the G20 because it takes place exactly in like the square kilometer range that I live most of my life in.
Oh shit! So you're not going to be able to go anywhere.
And it's fine. You know what? I'm actually one of the delegates.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you
They
talking
have
about?
There's a comedy.
Oh,
aspect.
really?
No, there isn't.
Are you going to be entertaining? Imagine if there was, though. It would be an easy crowd.
You think it would be an easy crowd?
Yes, a bunch of people who really need a pressure release. They sew
Those
up
are
their
usually
own
people
asses.
who are not a good crowd. You know what the worst kind of crowd is? This is why, like, corporate events are challenging for comedians. Because the worst kind of crowd is a crowd that's self-conscious.
And they're worried about what
And they're worried about
think
what
of
other
them.
people are thinking. Exactly. That's why you want strangers in a room together and not people who know each other in a room together. Because everybody's just side-eyeing to see if somebody else is laughing at the same joke or if it's okay to laugh, you know?
Right. Judgy.
Oh, very judgy.
So you're not doing anything with G20?
No.
Okay, because I was going to say that would have been a good idea if they decided to actually get something funny. Because
I know.
someone was saying this
Be
morning, I
pretty
think it was
dry.
Mash or Leigh-Ann, like imagine if they invited you though, would you want to go as a delegate?
But
like,
to
who
what?
would
What
want-
exactly are we talking about? Aren't
I
there like
don't know.
lots of different things?
They're different breakaway
Yes.
things that I haven't paid a lot of attention to it, I
No,
must
me
be honest
neither.
with you. There's this summit where all these world leaders get together and who knows what happens with
I
those
feel like it's going to
discussions.
be like the Oscars, but boring.
Yes, but that's the point, right? So if they asked me to come and I was some international leader, I'd be like,
Well, unless
find
you
a
had an
reason.
agenda. You've got to go with an agenda, Gareth.
yes, but
What's your agenda,
you need
bro?
to be one of those pushy, busybody
yes,
people.
what do you think a politician is?
That's why I don't know any of them in real life,
Yeah.
because they would put me off
You've
completely.
got to have an agenda.
But imagine you arrive there now. Everyone's got an agenda.
Yes.
And they're all pushing their agendas.
Yes.
And you have to like get your agenda in.
No, it's-
and it
that's-
must be like horse trading and just thoroughly unpleasant.
But some people live for that, you know.
What
It would be
kind of
unpleasant to you and I, but not to them.
Gilli, what kind of a life do you have if that's what you live for? What kind of what?
No, but maybe that explains why we don't have working traffic lights and sometimes power
Maybe
outages.
that's it, because this is what they're chasing is conferences.
Yes. Why? I think we all. It's so mysterious. One of the things I find so interesting. I was talking to my dad about this. Is like how we suddenly have electricity, and it occurred to me like that the only thing more confusing to human beings as to why we did not have electricity is why we now do have electricity.
And how easy it was to fix it, clearly,
That's
because
a
it didn't
bigger
take.
mystery
It didn't
than
even
why.
take long.
No.
I'm also curious because you do spend less time in South Africa now than you have before.
Yeah.
Are you still using South African material, and do South African audiences still give you something to use in Europe?
Well, yes, in the sense that my perspective, I guess, in these places is often as an outsider. And that's why a lot of expats come to the show, to the shows that I'm doing, because in any city that I'm in, I am speaking as an outsider to the city. And so they feel seen when I point out things about that country or city that are not usual. And I find often I am comparing the country to South Africa, which most of the audience do not relate
Right.
to. Except if they are from places that are similar to South Africa. Like Brazilians often relate to like if I talk about how, does anybody here come from a dangerous place? And it'll be like a Mexican or a Brazilian will put up their hands. And when I'm talking about getting your phone stolen, they'll nod, you know?
Okay.
But a lot of them don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Such an amazing social experiment, actually. You could
Like-
probably write a doctorate about this,
Probably.
because you're figuring out what the psychology of, obviously a lot of stereotyping is happening here, but
Yes.
you know, when you say like Mexicans or Brazilians and South Africans, we've got this idea of a shared experience.
Yes.
Which kind of puts us in the same category. And then you mentioned Norway and Switzerland, which they don't speak the same language. They don't actually have any history in common.
No.
Switzerland doesn't have any history with anyone in Europe because they've pretty much been independent for like 500 years and nobody even knew they existed because they're high up and far away.
Yes. That's how they behave as well.
But they have these connections.
Yes.
And it reminds me of Asterix because when I was a kid, maybe there's a bit of a leap. When I was a kid, Asterix was this hilarious, beautifully drawn, lovely storybook. They weren't very long, so you didn't have to concentrate for a long time. But they all stereotyped the British, the French, the Germans, the Italians, the Russians, whoever else, all over the world. Asterix had these, and they obviously weren't trying to be bigoted and stereotypical in a nasty way. But these stereotypes do exist, and they're a source of tremendous humor.
And people really enjoy them. I try not to lean in too much to stereotypes in a broad sense, but I will talk about a specific character in that city or country, and it's just stuff that I'm observing that I talk about. And actually, what's funny is even the most poorly formed idea that I've just come up with that day. Say I'm in Athens, and I come out and I talk about an Athens taxi driver. And I've only thought about that idea for the first time that day. It will get the biggest laugh of the show, more than any joke that I've been carefully crafting for about 2 years.
Monica says in the comments, no, South Africans are not behind at all. If you can survive this country, you can survive anything. I think
True.
We're made of quite tough stuff.
Yes.
And I like that. I
and
think
that's
it's a
why
plus.
South Africans do well in the world, by the way.
Yes, and we're also really not afraid to work because we have to push boulders uphill every day just to get to work.
And I'll add to that, we have low self-esteem
yes.
in terms of our skills and what we can do and our talents. And I can tell you the first time that I showed up in a London comedy club, I was so nervous not to be on the level, you know. And then I was suddenly so very much on the same level of the local talent that I was so shocked at how well it went because I was expecting to be at a deficit. And I realized from that day, and it wasn't a once off, it happened everywhere I went, I realized like we underestimate the quality we have and what we've achieved by being able to communicate with so many different peoples and people's backgrounds and being like a culture where we think as South Africans, I think often that we're not really that open with each other or confrontational. We're so much more than in other countries. We are more direct than other people. You know, like one of those things that I was saying, like how Nina and I are so direct with each other. When you are in London, no one is direct. Nobody gives anybody any honest feedback. And I realized you can't do it here. You can do it. You can tell a person, hey, listen, I didn't like that thing you did, or can you improve this or whatever. And people are fine. They take it on board. And that's an amazing quality to be able to grow.
I'm so glad you brought that up because it's the thing that's always bothered me too, is this feeling that we have to be humble because we're not as good and we don't do as many impressive things. South Africa bats outside of its average all the time.
100%. I've seen it.
And everywhere we go, across the world, most people are happy to see us. It's not like, Americans generally, people are like, oh, American.
Yes.
And I do think stereotypes count, though. And if we've got any positive ones, then this is definitely one of them.
The problem is over time, we've been known for different things. Like I now talk to audiences who don't associate South Africa with Nelson Mandela. Like 30 years ago, everybody went in the world.
Oh, it moves fast, huh?
Now, then it went to Oscar Pistorius, and now it's Elon Musk is who we're associated with for young people. So it's crazy, like where it's
for better or for worse, right? Are you doing some shows while you're here?
Yes.
Okay, shit, you never stop working, huh?
Well, you got to.
Okay.
Who's going to do it if not me?
Tell us about them. Where are we?
On Tuesday of next week, the 25th, I'm starting a run at Theatre on the Square in Sandton.
Fantastic.
From the 25th to the 30th. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I've just added a show on Sunday. The show on Sunday is a little bit cheaper, and it's during the day for people who are sleepy and feeling cheap. And so I welcome you.
It's nice that you take care of the schnorrer people too. That's nice of you.
I have to, But actually, I will say the Saturday and Friday are almost sold out, but the other shows, there's still some tickets left. So
excellent.
Tuesday to Sunday next week.
Where do we go for those?
Theatre on the Square, gilliapter.com.
Excellent. Is this the Hilarious, Deep, Amazing Joburg Comedy
That's
Show.
right.
Is that what you call it?
It's actually the return of the Hilarious, Deep, Amazing Joburg Comedy Show.
Oh, I love that.
But that's
All right.
because that's what the show is called everywhere in the world. The Hilarious, Deep, Amazing Zurich Comedy Show, the Hilarious, Deep, Amazing London Comedy Show, etc.
It almost feels like it's been translated from Latvian.
Yes, it's the Hilarious, Deep, Amazing Riga Comedy Show, except that one wasn't so amazing. I shouldn't have called it that.
Oh, that's so great. I do love this. It's always good to see you. Last
you so
time you
much.
were here, though, you mentioned the avocado shortage. Do you remember
Yes,
that?
and yesterday I went into Woolies just to have a look.
Have we improved?
You know, I don't know. It's summertime in South Africa, and that's never really been a good time for avos. And the only test will happen is
World Avo expert.
I have to go to Cape Town and check what's going on with it. By the way, I want to make it very clear, I am only a connoisseur of Woolies avocados.
Yes.
Okay, because I had many, many messages from people all over the country telling me where I should go be getting my avocados from. To this day, some of them are still sending me messages. And I want you to know that I am only a bougie avocado expert. Okay? I don't claim to be a wide-ranging avocado expert.
Are you peculiar about whether it has to be the green skin one or the Hass one? You don't care?
Not necessarily. It depends on the quality.
Some
but
people really care.
I know, but I just want it to be good and have flavor and not have that watery vibe.
What are we doing with it? Toast? Are we doing guacamole?
I put it in my salad.
Okay.
I used to do a lot of toast.
Very conventional.
Yeah, but
Nothing
sometimes toast.
too
Sometimes
experimental.
Toast. No, very simple.
Okay.
It's tuna salad and toast.
Okay.
And I will tell you, I'm going to go to Cape Town maybe in January, I don't know. And then I'll tell you how the avos there are doing, because those are the ones I'm really concerned about.
Yeah, because the Cape, shame, they've got a terrible time down there with the wind and the mountain. Jesus,
they're
I was
having a very hard
there
time.
this past
Ocean.
weekend. Almost when the wind blows, it is thoroughly unpleasant in Cape
Very
Town,
unpleasant.
It can be it is beautiful. The sun was out. Looked great. People are always dressed to the nines compared to Joburg, where they couldn't be bothered to put on a dressing gown. And yet that wind fucks everything up.
I have to tell you, my absolute number one single worst weather condition is wind.
Yeah, I can handle the wet, the cold, the hot.
Don't take me anywhere windy.
Where in Europe are you based now? London.
London, mostly. But I'm here a lot. I'm here for 5 months out of the year.
Superb.
Yeah.
Well, we'll make sure we come to the
Please
the
do come to the
return
show.
of the
It's
hilarious,
funny.
deep, amazing Joburg comedy show.
It's funny, come.
Gilli Apter. All right, you can find out by going to her website. Gilli, it's always lovely to see you. Thank you
so
for
much
coming.
for having me.
And thank you to all our other guests this morning. It's been fun. And have a good weekend, everybody. We will see you next week. Behave. Ciao. He was the Renaissance golden boy. Handsome, brilliant, and athletic. Until he wasn't. He shattered a church, married 6 times, beheaded 2 queens, and grew so fat he had to be hoisted onto his throne. He claimed divine dreams. He kept a polar bear. He had his servants wipe his royal behind. One moment, he wrote love songs. The next, he signed your death warrant over his 13th roast